Hey everyone, this is Gigi Calvin, and I just wanted to record a little thank you message for my community and all the viewers that have been checking out all my vlogs. I really appreciate all of you supporting this journey that I've been on, giving tips, giving suggestions. So I've made this compilation video, which is days 1 to 100. So yeah, just want to make this as a gift for everyone, and thank you to the Stardew community. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this video. Talk to you later, everyone. Okay, bye-bye. This is my day 1 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Yes, I know the rest of the world has played this game, except for me, and I think the game first released in 2016, so I'm several years behind. But better to start now than never, and I know the game is beloved around the world. So come along and join me on this journey as I dive into the world of Stardew Valley and figure out what it takes to run my farm and meet friends along the way. Welcome to my day 1 vlog in Stardew Valley. So to start off with a little bit about myself, I'm a casual gamer who got into live service games like Marvel Rivals, Helldivers 2, and Peak in this past year. So as I kick off Stardew Valley, I realized that the story into the game made me slow down a lot, that intro cinematic. Seeing my grandfather, or is it my uncle, giving me this letter to commission me to start my farm was very nostalgic. Am I going to make a run for amassing huge amounts of money, or will my journey be about making meaningful relationships with the townspeople? I haven't played this type of game with this top-down view for quite a while. It reminds me of old school Zelda games. On day 1, I left my corporate job to head to my farm, and I'm starting to figure out how to move around and what are the basic objectives on a daily basis. I meet a tour guide, and I think I also met the mayor of the town. So everyone seems pleasant and friendly, which is really refreshing. And then I started to figure out how to use the tools to cut down weeds, chop wood, and break up stones on the land around my farm. But I got tired and exhausted, and I haven't discovered how to renew my energy meter. There must be a way to do this, right? You see, I'm trying not to watch too many tips and tutorials on Stardew Valley as I embark on this journey. I want that magical experience of discovering the game and all of its quirks for the first time. Oh yeah, I also walked around town and met a girl named Haley. I think I gave her something brown, and she said it was gross. I didn't know what I was doing, so maybe this wasn't the best way to make a first impression. And as I wandered around into people's homes, I found out that I have to reach certain levels of friendship before gaining access to certain rooms. This is going to take a lot of extroverted effort to make friends. So far, I'm enjoying my first day in Stardew Valley, but apparently I fell asleep, exhausted, and some people helped me back home. It cost me some units, so I need to be more careful. The game is really drawing me in with its cozy vibe and pleasing atmosphere, so I guess I'll see what day 2 has in store when I release the next vlog of my journey. This is my day 2 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time, so I'm starting to figure out how to use the tools that the game gives me from the beginning, tilling the soil, cutting down wood, breaking stones apart. I chose the standard farm at the startup menu, and walking around the island, or the land, I realized that it's going to take a lot of work to clear the area. I still haven't figured out how to boost my stamina yet, so I feel like I'm parsing out how much work I can do in one day before I get exhausted. One thing I started doing was trying to make progress with the objective to meet and greet people in the town. I found the mayor again, I think his name is Lewis, and he showed me this rundown community center, and there was some kind of magical creature that popped up inside. So I guess there's magic in the world of Stardew Valley? I'm gonna have to look more into this. I did meet Abigail and Evelyn, who were very friendly, and I like reading the dialogue because it helps me to get a sense of their personalities. I figured out that if I go to the saloon, I will likely have the opportunity to meet more people in Pelican Town in a very concentrated way. So I'm starting to make progress with the objective to introduce myself to the townspeople. There was even an arcade game or two in the saloon, which I thought was cool, and I'll have to return later to play them when I have more time. Right now I'm trying to stay focused on the main objectives, although I don't want to rush myself too much. I really just want to enjoy the more relaxed pace of the game, since it's very different than the hectic pace of games that I usually play, like Helldivers 2 or Marvel Rivals. This is my day 3 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Okay, so I figured out how to plant the parsnip seeds that I think are the first seeds that I was given on day 1. Watering them was also a simple task, and I guess I should grow these crops as soon as possible because they're probably the main way that I can make money in this world and buy stuff. I already spent some credits on day 1 when I fell asleep walking around because I had exhausted all of my energy. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to boost my stamina. Maybe if I can find some food or something to eat, that will do the trick, because I haven't figured that out yet. I was watching my energy meter and making sure that I hit a minimum level and then stopped working. That made me think I should walk around the area more, so I did run into Haley again, but she seemed to ignore me and not be that friendly. I realized that maybe that's how she is, although I'm wondering if there's something I can give to her as a gift to get her to open up more. Now, during my walking tour, I found an entrance to a mine, and there was this grizzly guy named Marlin who gave me a sword. What exactly happens in this game? I'm starting off as a farmer, planting crops, and now I have a sword, and am I going to fight off monsters or something somewhere down the line? I guess the world of this game is really starting to open up to me, because later on I got a message from a wizard in my mailbox. So I found his castle, and he starts talking about the magical creatures I saw in the community center the other day. And then I started drinking a potion that he gave me, and I think I started hallucinating. This game is trippy to say the least. This is my day 4 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today was a lot less fantastical than yesterday because I didn't run into that wizard in the castle or Marlin in the mines. I stuck with watering my crops, but I wondered if I needed to do that since it was raining in the morning. Is it redundant for me to water the crops during a rainstorm? I don't know all the game mechanics yet, so I was trying to cover all my bases by watering them down anyway. I did make a trip down south, I think, and I found the harbor or the dock area where I met Willie. He gave me a fishing pole, so that makes me think that this is going to be another key activity in the game. Perhaps to catch fish and sell them for credits. A side hustle, when I'm not focusing on farming or fighting monsters with that sword that Marlin gave me from the mines. Are there monsters in this world of Stardew Valley? I don't know yet. Anyways, I think I'm starting to get a little bit more familiar with the overall map in the game based on the areas that I've already visited. It's really challenging when I have to keep checking the map over and over again and it slows me down. Maybe now I can move faster throughout my day and navigate the terrain with a more focused approach. This is my day 5 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So my first batch of parsnip seeds are growing, and I think it takes around 4 days to harvest. I was trying to figure out when and how to pull them out from the ground. In the meantime, I figured I should plant some more parsnips because if this is one of the ways I can earn credits, I should keep a consistent flow of crops growing and harvesting to stay afloat. Something I'm noticing too is that the soil around my farm seems to need to be constantly tended to. I remember using the hoe to till some of the soil tiles so they would turn into that darker brownish yellow, but then I see some spots returning to that lighter yellow color as if they are untilled. Does this happen to everyone? After working on my farm, I saw Haley again with her camera and she ignored me. I still need to find a daffodil to give her as a gift, so that's on my to-do list. And for the first time, I finally found some spring onions in the forest. I've been reading some comments from viewers and they suggested I find forageables to boost my energy. So thank you for the tip. And I ended my day at the saloon trying to play the first arcade game, but it was really hard. This is my day 6 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Okay, I figured out how to harvest my first batch of parsnips, and this was so exciting because I've been watering them the past few days. I guess now I can make some money or earn credits if I sell them at the general store. But before heading to the store, I decided to gather some more materials around my farm because it was early morning and I don't think the store was open yet. So might as well stack up on some raw materials. I'm still trying to figure out how to craft things in the main menu, so that's a work in progress. But I made it to the store later in the morning and sold off my first batch of parsnips. I'm officially a farmer now in Stardew Valley. Thinking ahead, I decided to pick up some more seeds so I can plant them and start another cycle. I wonder what the best strategy is for how many seeds to plant and harvest when you're starting out. Right now I'm kind of experimenting and figuring it out along the way. Now I did figure out how to make a wooden fence through the crafting menu. I had enough wood materials that I had gathered, so this was my first fence, which I assume is for protecting certain areas of my farm. Not sure yet what the best place is to put a fence, but I'm doing this as a first attempt. Oh yeah, and another place I discovered for the first time is Jojo Mart, and I guess apparently I can buy more seeds and other stuff there. I think it stays open later than the general store. This is my day 7 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today it started raining again, so I decided to get up early and gather more materials around my farm. I have the standard farm, so it feels like there's a lot of raw material laying around. I wonder if the raw materials regenerate over time, or if there's a limited amount of rocks, wood, and grass. But as I was moving around, I saw this broken down house near my house. I don't know what it is, but maybe I can earn some credits and remodel it into something. Another thing I found is an opening into this cave near my house. It's small and appears to be empty. I don't know what happens here, but I'm wondering if there's something I need to build to dig into the mine. I've already encountered some strange lore in this world, so I know that a mine may not just be a mine. There could be something more to this. And since the general store was closed today, I went to Jojo Mart and got some more seeds to plant around my farm. Might as well think ahead. And finally, the highlight of my day was finding Haley and giving her a daffodil. I guess she liked the gift, so now we're on speaking terms. Apparently she is single, so maybe there's romance in the future. This is my day 8 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. It was pretty sunny this morning, so I did my regular routine of tending to my crops outside my house, and I decided to take on a side quest, which was to find Robin's lost axe. This took some time to figure out where to look and also how to navigate the overall map. But eventually I made it down to the Cindersnap Forest. I think that's the name of the place. And I saw something that looked like an axe tucked away into the corner, in a corner. Okay, so now I just need to find Robin. Where did I see her last time? As I was walking around, I ran into Leia and decided to gift her a daffodil, and she liked it. I think she's single too, like Haley, but now I'm wondering, who should I get to know more first? Do I keep finding out what Haley and Leia like and then keep giving them gifts? Is witty conversation part of the strategy? I did find Haley a little later, and she's talking to me now, so that's progress. And yes, I finally found Robin at the carpenter shop and gave her the axe, so mission accomplished. One thing I found odd was when I went to the community center and then I saw this mysterious creature running off actually when I found a book on the floor. I'm not sure if this is a mini game in the book. I did see Linus digging in the trash near someone's house, and I told him to get a job. And later on that evening, I cooled off in the saloon and started buying food and giving them as gifts to Pam and Clint. Although, I think one of my viewers told me to avoid Clint, and I'm just remembering that now. I did gift a dandelion, I think it was a dandelion, to Emily, and she liked it too. This is my days 9 to 12 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So I'm covering multiple days on this vlog, and I'm steadily growing parsnips and harvesting them as they're my main source of income at this moment. I've been hearing from many of my viewers giving helpful advice, so thank you to everyone, and I welcome any tips. Right now I'm getting used to establishing a routine for my day where I tend to gather resources around my farm in the morning before the general store opens, and after 9 a.m. I try to finish up all my tasks, and I head over to the store to sell my crops. I've also been trying to figure out how to craft different items from the craft menu, so this was the first time I took a closer look at the amount of resources you need to make each item. Having a storage chest would be really useful, but it looks like it really takes about 50 wood units. I actually accidentally clicked on the gravel path and ended up crafting a few of those tiles. I haven't figured out how to cancel an item that you craft, so maybe there's a way to do that. I did manage to make a storage chest after gathering a lot of wood, and I placed it near the bin by my house. Oh, and during the span of a few days, Marnie came over and showed me a stray dog, so I adopted him and named him Thanos after the Marvel Cinematic Universe villain. I thought it would be funny to name him Thanos because maybe he'll grow up to be an overpowered villain who wants to wipe out half of the Stardew Valley universe when he snaps his paws. At the end of the day, I made it back to the saloon and gifted a salad to Abigail. I've been making it my nightly routine to stop by the saloon and chat with a few of the townspeople. And when I made it back to my farm, I finally figured out how I can light the campfire and use it to illuminate my farm area. So maybe I can build a few more campfires around the farm so I can work at night. This is my day 13 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So today is what I think they call the Spring Egg Festival, but it wasn't starting until later in the morning. Because I had extra time at the beginning of the day, I tended to my crops, and I mostly have parsnips right now. But I've started growing potatoes, kale, and some tulips. I think the tulips are taking longer than the vegetables to grow. And I started experimenting a little with the crafting menu. I built out my wooden fence a little more. I've noticed that there is an option to craft a fence door, so maybe I can build one of those once I finish a whole fenced out area and need to go in and out of one. I know that one of my viewers told me to build a scarecrow, so that's on my to-do list as well. Later on, I made it to the Egg Festival, and I think this was my first community event in Pelican Town. Walking around, I really felt like I was part of a larger community, something bigger than myself. Everyone made me feel welcome, and I felt like I belonged in this town. It took me a little while to figure out how to initiate the egg hunt, and I ended up finding only 3 eggs. Lewis, the town mayor, announced Abigail as the winner of the egg hunt. So overall, it was a pretty eventful day where I saw more of the community life of the town. I wonder if there are more townwide events I should look out for, because Haley said something about the flower dance that she's looking forward to. This is my day 14 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. My mornings are pretty much routine now, where I'm watering my usual batch of parsnips and then harvesting them. Some of my viewers are commenting on how my farm looks a little chaotic, so I'm thinking about how to organize it a little better in the near future. Right now, I'm just figuring out a lot of stuff. Since the evenings get pretty dark around my farm, I decided to craft a second campfire and place it near the water bowl for my dog Thanos. I thought this might help to have a little more illumination around my different crop areas in case I want to work a little at night. I also started getting some new seeds besides parsnips from the general store, so I'm planting potatoes and kale. I also planted some tulips because maybe these flowers will be nice gifts to give to some of the townspeople. But it looks like tulips take a while to grow and blossom. Some of my viewers also suggested I plant cauliflower, so I will add that to my list as well. When I had some free time, I ventured out to the beach and harbor area and found a mussel. Or was it an oyster? My guess is that I could give this to someone as a gift, but I need to figure out who would like it. There's also an area at the beach where I saw a broken down bridge, so I'm guessing that I can craft it and fix it with some wood. Later on, I went to Joja Mart, and Morris tried to sell me on getting a membership, but I declined it. He gives me these weird villain vibes, so I'm being careful around him. Finally, in the evening, I went by the saloon and gifted a daffodil to Emily again. She's always friendly toward me, and when I went home, my dog Thanos was sleeping in my bed. At first, it was hard for me to get into the bed, so I just sat at my dining table for a while before I figured out how to get into the bed. This is my day 15 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today started off pretty good because I had a big batch of parsnips that I was able to harvest. This always makes me happy to see the crops growing because I get to go to the general store and sell them to Pierre. Although one of my viewers mentioned that I can drop crops and materials into the big bin next to my house and they get sold at the end of the day. So maybe that will save me time and energy so I can do other things during the daytime. Anyway, I continued gathering more materials around my farm as I'm thinking about crafting more stuff to upgrade my area. I also realized that I need to refill the water bowl daily for my dog Thanos, which is next to my house. He was happy that I did that. Anytime I go over to him, he gives me a heart emoji, so I assume that means he's doing okay. When I went to the general store, I checked the bulletin board and saw another mini quest for hunting green slimes. I have the rusty sword now, so I guess I can use that as a weapon to take down the slimes, but I didn't pursue that quest today. Instead, I went into the store and talked to Leia. She asked me why I moved to the farm, and I told her that it felt more real than living in the city. She had similar thoughts, so maybe we're starting to form a real connection. Later on, I found Evelyn and gave her the mussel as a gift, which she liked. I remember she talked about the ocean as a memory, so I figured she would like the mussel. And later that night, I tended to my crops because now I have 2 campfires set up and I can see better in the dark. It feels good to be productive, even in the late hours. This is my day 16 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So I'm getting used to my regular morning routine of watering my crops and tending to different things around my farm. I'm realizing that some days are just regular, mundane days in Pelican Town, and that's okay. I like the quiet rhythms of just taking care of my own place. I'm thinking I might need to clear out some of the trees around my house so that I can organize my space better, because I feel like I'm often walking around the trees to get to my crops. Today I also built my first scarecrow because one of my viewers was telling me to create one to scare away the birds. So that's been a high priority for me to build one, and I just had to gather enough wood to assemble it. I tried setting up a scarecrow at one spot, but it wasn't letting me do it. It wasn't until I added a gravel tile to the ground, and that's where I was able to place my scarecrow. I'm not sure if you always need a gravel tile for the scarecrow, but maybe there's a better way of doing this. I made it over to the saloon again and talked to Leia, Pam, and Emily. It's fun to learn little things about each of them through conversations. I'm still figuring out what each one likes as gifts, but I'm guessing that Pam probably likes beer. Later that night, I made some time to gather my materials into my storage bin, as well as tossing some extra stuff into the big box for some extra credits. It was a quieter day today, and that was fine with me. This is my day 17 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. This morning I actually had trouble getting out of my house because my dog Thanos was standing in the way. Maybe I wasn't navigating the space correctly, but it took me a little while to push past him to get out of the front door. Anyway, it was raining outside, so I figured that I didn't need to water my crops, which is what some of my viewers have been telling me. Thank you for the tips, by the way. So I decided to make the most of my early morning and gather more resources around my farm. I'm realizing that I should stock up on these materials to craft more things for my home and my farm. When I went over to the community news board, I saw that there was a request from Robin for someone to bring her a Joja Cola. I accepted the quest and went over to buy one for her, as well as to pick up some seeds for planting later. When I made it over to Robin's shop, I gave the cola to her and she seemed really happy. And then I went over to Clint's blacksmith shop because I found this geode and I realized I need him to break it open. Are geodes basically like Easter eggs in Stardew Valley? I guess there are hidden things inside each geode after you break them open. Then I went down to the harbor and Willie's fishing shop where I bought a training rod. I thought I had been given a rod earlier in the game, but I hadn't been able to find it, so I wasn't doing any fishing earlier on. But now with this rod, I gave it a shot. Although I don't really know what I'm doing. Do I need to add bait to the rod, or do I just need to wait longer before catching a fish? Later on, I saw Alex, who I thought wanted to toss around a ball and play catch, but we ended up not doing it. And then I went into the mines and discovered this green slime. I tried swiping at it with my rusty sword, but it wouldn't go away. I left the mine early before the situation got any worse. I'm going to have to figure out how to handle those green slimes. This is my day 18 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my TV this morning, I noticed there are different channels available. I've used the weather report channel, and then I see one for a fortune teller that talks about spirits being favorable or not favorable depending on the day. I wonder if this information about the spirits are connected to the green slimes in the mines or the mysterious creatures that appear at the community center. I'm aware that there's some lore in Stardew Valley, but I think I've barely seen the tip of the iceberg. When I went over to Pierre's general store later that morning, Morris from Joja Mart appeared and made a big show of offering major discounts at his store. A bunch of people hopped on these deals and I think they ran out to go over to Joja Mart. I felt bad for Pierre, so I stayed and bought some more seeds from him. I remember one of my viewers talking about how there's a route to take with Joja Mart, so I don't know if that means there's more story revealed if you choose to support Joja Mart over Pierre's store. Afterward, I went back to my farm and planted the seeds I bought, and I crafted a torch because one of my viewers told me that making a torch is cheaper than making a campfire, and I needed more light around my farm during the evenings. When I went back to town, I remember I had this clam I found at the beach, so I gave it to Evelyn, who seems to like those things. She's a sweet old lady, and I wish I could give her a hug. I ran into Pam outside of the saloon, and it seemed like she wasn't having a good day, so I left her alone. And that evening, I went around some of the forest area to keep gathering extra resources so that I could store those up for later. This is my day 19 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I've been consistently growing parsnips daily, and now I'm taking the steps not only to sell them at Pierre's store, but to save a few parsnips in my storage bin for future use. Some of my viewers have told me to store a few crops of different types in case some of the townsfolk ask me for them, so thank you for these tips. I'm hoping that these stored crops don't expire or spoil when I put them in my storage bin, but I guess I'll find out soon enough. I've also been making a regular routine to check the calendar at the community bulletin board, and I noticed that it's going to be Shane's birthday tomorrow on day 20. I can't remember if Shane is the one guy who seems a bit standoffish, or maybe that is someone else. I don't think I've interacted with Shane enough to know what he likes as gifts, so this might be hard to find a good birthday gift for him. Anyway, I went to Pierre's store and picked up more parsnip seeds, and also I got cauliflower because I think I accepted a quest from Jody to deliver cauliflower to her. Will I be able to make it before the end of the season for this quest? It's already day 19, and I think cauliflower takes several days to grow and harvest, and I thought the season ends around day 28. I went by the community center again and saw another strange spirit creature, but I haven't made my progress on this place yet. Honestly, I'm not really sure what to do to improve this center because I've been spending most of my days growing my crops and meeting people around town with side quests. And when I went by to visit the town mayor Lewis, he told me about prize tickets, which I guess I can earn if I help people around town. Maybe they're an extra bonus for getting credits. After a busy day, I spent the evening foraging around my farm because I realized I can pick up a few more credits when I put extra materials in the large bin to sell. That's really been helping me to buy more parsnip seeds to grow and keep my farm operation going. This is my day 20 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I started off the morning with cutting down some trees as I've been wanting to organize my space a little more around the farm. I find that trees sometimes obstruct my view, and I'm guessing that full-grown trees may not have as much impact on the quality of the farm once they're at full height. If I'm wrong about that, I definitely invite any of my viewers to let me know in the comments, as I always appreciate the tips. I only have one storage chest right now next to the big bin by my house, so I also have to make some more, and it's on my to-do list to create some more storage chests as I gather more wood materials. I was growing some tulips and they fully bloomed, so I have some of those in my storage while taking a few to possibly give as gifts to people around town. Some of my viewers told me that several of the girls like flowers, so I had that in mind. I tested out that theory when I saw Haley again and gave her a tulip. She liked it, so I must be moving in the right direction. But when I checked the chart with all the people's names and the different heart levels, I'm not sure I fully understand all the data that is listed. I guess the more red hearts you have with a person, the further along my relationship is progressing with them. I don't know what the question bubble is at the right of the menu, so I'll have to explore that sometime later. Later on, I realized that I expended too much energy doing tasks around the farm, so I had to take a nap in my bed and regain some energy before I continued. It took a little while, but I can see how it makes a difference because after the nap, I was able to move around a lot faster. I eventually made my way over to Joja Mart, but it was mostly just browsing around because I didn't want to do the membership that Morris was trying to sell me. So it was kind of an easygoing day for me. This is my day 21 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Once again, I've been staying faithful to my early morning routine of gathering my crops, which mostly have been parsnips. But actually today, some of my other crops are ready to harvest, which I think there's this blue flower called Jazz or something like that was ready to be picked. Some of my viewers have encouraged me to store up materials and crops, so I've been more mindful of that in order to be prepared for the future. Meanwhile, I've also started to be more proactive with chopping down some of the trees around my farm to clear the space. And I also realized that if I have more wood, I can build and craft more things to expand my farm operation. So might as well do that in order to think ahead. Afterward, I went to Pierre's general store again and I stocked up on more seeds because I realized that I'm at day 20 and I think there are only 8 more days in this spring season. I could either plant some crops and harvest them if they have a quick turnaround like parsnips, or I could store some seeds up and some other crops and save them for a future time of planting. So much of this game is thinking ahead, so I'm learning as I go along. Oh, and today apparently was the bookseller day. I found him in his booth near Joja Mart, but when I got there, the books were too expensive for me. I didn't have enough credits to buy anything, although I took some time to read the book titles. I'm wondering if these books unlock any abilities or powers that are connected to the lore or magic in Stardew Valley. At the end of the day, I gathered my wood materials and decided to make some more storage bins. I figured that would be a good step to take since I only have a little more than a week before spring ends. One thing I notice is that there only seems to be certain spots where I can place the storage bin around the big bin next to my house. I want to put the storage chests next to each other, but it wasn't letting me do that, so I had to place them wherever I saw a green tile. This is my day 22 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Just like many of my earlier days in this season, my mornings have started with watering and harvesting my crops right outside of my front door. I'm thinking that I need to set up a good solid fence around the area at some point. When I went to check the mailbox, I got a letter from my mom, and she sent some cookies, which made me feel really good. I miss my mom. Afterwards, since I had been chopping down more of the trees around my farm, I built a few more storage chests and placed them around the selling bin next to my home. I'm not sure if I can rearrange those chests after I place them in a spot because it would be nice to figure out a better arrangement. Another thing I've been doing has been going around town and foraging, gathering fiber that I can toss into my selling bin. That's been a consistent way to earn credits on a daily basis. I still need to figure out how to build a silo. Some of my viewers have told me to hold off on cutting the grass around my farm because I need a silo to store them. Oh, and one big thing that I did today was finally figure out how to fish using the training rod. I remember some of my viewers told me about a mini game that pops up, and it did when I got a fish to bite. Looks like I need to keep the green bar behind the fish in the mini game, which was a little tricky to do at first, but I got the hang of it. Finally, at the end of the day, I took the remaining hours of the evening to tend to my crops and tidy up around the farm. It's a nice way to decompress at the end of the day. This is my day 23 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I was tending to my crops in the early morning, I saw there was a message in my mailbox, and it was from Mayor Lewis saying that tomorrow was going to be the flower dance. Now I remember Haley talking about how the flower dance is her favorite event, and I think she told me at the egg hunt event that happened earlier on. So it was on my mind that morning, wondering if there's something I should do to prepare for the flower dance. The rest of the morning I continued chopping down some more trees around the farm because I need to clear the space. Also, I've realized that chopping down trees can give me some extra acorns, seeds, or sap that I can throw into the selling bin next to my house to earn some more credits. Later on, since I'm getting more into fishing, I found a new spot near the river to use my training rod again. I noticed that when I'm fishing, sometimes I hear this chirping sound, and I wonder if that is an indication or a signal that a fish is circling around the bait on my training rod. I've noticed that sound several times. This time I didn't catch a fish, but I got some green algae. I'm not sure what to do with it, but I decided that I would store the algae in one of my storage chests for future use. I found another fishing spot later in the evening that had a little dock on one end, but once again, I didn't catch any fish. I caught some trash, and I wondered if I could toss that into the selling bin next to my house and get some credits for it. Because it was getting late, I remember I had some extra parsnip seeds to plant, so I put those into the soil in front of my house. It's already day 23, so I figured I could plant and harvest these before the end of the season at day 28. This is my day 24 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I got up this morning, I checked my mailbox and received a message from Emily, who sent me a gift. It was a piece of wool, which was really cool. I'm not sure what to do with it, but I put it in one of my storage chests for future safekeeping. Afterward, I went about my usual morning routine, tending and harvesting my crops, as well as chopping down a few trees to gather extra wood materials. I knew that today was the flower dance, so I didn't want to exhaust myself and use up all of my energy doing chores. Now, it took me a little while to figure out where the flower dance was happening, which was in the cinder sap forest. And just like the egg hunt, everyone was there. It was a really big turnout. I saw a booth that was selling items, but I didn't buy anything. I tried approaching Haley to ask her to dance, but she declined. I guess I needed to improve my relationship with her by giving her more gifts before the dance. I thought about buying a flower at the booth to give to her, but I couldn't figure out how to access my usual tool menu at the event. So I basically went around the flower dance, just chatting with different people and getting to know them more. When the flower dance started, I watched from the crowd and it went by very quickly. I was hoping there would be more to the event, which I guess there might have been if I had the chance to dance with Haley. Maybe I'll have a better chance next year, whenever the flower dance happens again. Later that night, I went back to my usual farmer duties and chopped down a few more trees. I might as well be productive with the remaining hours in the evening. I actually found a book called Bait and Bobber that dropped to the ground after I chopped down a tree, so that was cool. It was a little reward, and I'm assuming I can learn more fishing skills from it. This is my day 25 and 26 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I decided to combine 2 days into this vlog because my day 25 was mostly spent at my farm, clearing out some more space and figuring out how to craft the wooden poles to build out my fence in front of my home. And on day 26 it started raining, so I knew that I didn't have to spend time watering each of my crops. Honestly, that was kind of a nice little mental break for me because it got me thinking about how I could use my time to do other things around Pelican Town. After spending a few minutes foraging around the bus stop area, I went into the mines because I remember that some of my viewers had told me to try exploring the mines on rainy days. I had briefly ventured into the mines on previous days, but today was when I made it a focus of almost the entire day. Fortunately, I had brought a number of forageable items that I had in my inventory slots that I could consume for additional energy. There are so many rocks and boulders in the mines, and I noticed that it does take a lot of energy out of me, going around and breaking these stones apart with my pickaxe. And I even ran into some creatures in the mines. The green slimes have been a little intimidating to me in the past, but now that I have the rusty sword, I can face them head on, which is what I did when I came across my first green slime and just started swinging my sword around like I was Link in the original 8-bit Legend of Zelda game. Eventually, I had to consume some of the food items I was carrying to replenish my energy because all this slime slaying and rock breaking was making me tired. I picked up something that was called bug meat. It's red and gooey, and I'm not sure if I can eat it for energy, but I decided to keep it in one of my inventory slots in case it is useful in the future. There were some other materials like copper and some other metals that I picked up along the way, which I will store at my farm. Finally, I made it over to the community center, and I'm still trying to figure out how to renovate this place. I remember one of my viewers said to click on the square icon in one of the rooms, and it opened up a menu. I think I'm supposed to gather the listed materials in each section and drop them into these inventory slots. Hopefully I'm understanding that correctly, because it would be good to get some progress going in fixing this community center. This is my day 27 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. After I woke up and went outside in the morning, I ran into the blacksmith, Clint, and he told me about building a furnace that will help me with some more tasks. I haven't talked much to Clint, but I see him at the saloon from time to time in the evenings. But this was definitely helpful info because I've been wanting to learn more on how to craft stuff around the farm. After finishing with Clint, I tended to my crops and watered them, but I realized that I'm at day 27 and I think the spring season ends tomorrow, which is day 28. I think some of my viewers told me that crops will die at the end of the season if they're not ready to be harvested. As you can see, I decided to live dangerously and planted some seeds. I think on day 25 is when I did it to test out this idea. I guess I'll find out soon enough after I finish day 28. A little later, I saw my dog Thanos and gave him a hug, or maybe it was a pat on the head, and then I took some time to add a little more to my large wooden fence in front of my house, including adding a gate on one side of the structure. I think the fence is supposed to keep animals out of the crops, but I haven't seen any creatures coming into that area. Maybe they'll come at a later time, or maybe my scarecrow is helping to scare them away. Later on, I relaxed a little bit by going around the forest area and cutting up some bushes to get fiber that I can toss into the selling bin next to my house. And I ended up swinging by the wizard's tower, so I went inside to see if there was anything interesting that day. I remember that the wizard had told me some seemingly important information when I first met him, but I honestly can't remember what it was. Maybe I can look in my journal and see if there are any notes. Oh, and I'm really getting into fishing right now. I just haven't figured out what I should do with the fish after I catch them. I've been storing them in one of the chests by my house, but maybe there is someone I can sell the fish to. Pierre's General Store and Joja Mart don't have fish items on their menus, so maybe Willie is the one who I can sell fish to for some credits, if that actually is a thing in Stardew Valley. By the end of the evening, I went by the saloon and bought a beer to give to Pam as a gift. Pam has seemed pretty non-talkative recently, so I wanted to cheer her up, and she was happy when I gave her a beer. This is my day 28 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So this is the last day of the spring season, if the information I got from my viewers is correct. Some of my crops were ready to be harvested, but most of them were still in the middle of their growth cycle. So I'm really going to find out tomorrow on day 29, the first day of summer, if these crops will die out or if there's a chance to salvage them. Afterward, I chopped down a few trees around my farm because I want to keep storing up wood materials for future crafting projects, and I also would like to tidy up my farm area a little more. Some of the big trees are making it hard for me to see certain areas around the farm, so I might as well clear out some spots. I've been making it a habit to save some of the sap I get from cutting down trees, but selling off the acorns and the mixed seeds by tossing them into the selling bin next to my house. Later on, I went to the museum and chatted with Gunther. He keeps telling me to donate some items, but I haven't made any progress on this because he seems to be looking for treasure. Maybe that's a cue for me to go deeper into the mines and find treasure items that might be useful for the museum. So far, I haven't found anything that stands out in the mines except for maybe that bug meat I mentioned in a previous vlog. I did make it over to Joja Mart and walked around to get a better idea of the space, and once again I declined the Joja membership that Morris was trying to sell me. A bit later I went to go fishing again, which I'm getting better at, especially with the minigame that pops up. I caught a sunfish, and I'm guessing that when summer comes around there might be new kinds of fish that I can catch. I also made it over to Willie at the dock and learned a little more from him on about different fishing tips. I hope I can eventually get a better rod than the training one that I have. It would be cool to have a stronger pole that I guess might help me catch bigger fish, or perhaps catch any fish at a faster rate. This is my day 29 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Well, it's the first day of the summer season, and when I went outside I discovered that the lingering crops I had planted all died out. At first, it was kind of sad to realize this, but then I thought about how I'm learning how to do things in Stardew Valley one day at a time through trial and error, as well as helpful comments from my viewers. I'm grateful for all of that, and this lifted my spirits a bit as I cleaned up the dead crops. Later, when I went around the forest to gather forageable items, I noticed that these items are different than the ones I saw in the previous spring season. I'm going to have to get used to these new names for different berries and fruits and vegetables. Afterward, I did a quick fishing run and then picked up some more seeds for new plants at Pierre's general store. I wanted to try and grow different kind of crops, so this was the first day of the summer season. I figured I should try a variety of seeds and get them going on their growth cycle. I went back to fishing and caught a rainbow trout, which I don't think I saw this kind of fish during the spring season. So I'm assuming that the local flora and fauna will change with every season in Pelican Town. As the evening set in, I went back to my farm to continue chopping down some trees to clear out space and to eventually build more storage chests with wood materials. And then I went back to the saloon to cool off for a bit before my bedtime. I've been making it a point to chat with every person I see because I remembered that there's a tally for conversing with all the different characters throughout the week. And I'm thinking this is one good way to progress the relationship arcs for each of the characters. This is my day 30 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Since it's the second day of summer for me, I decided that I should focus on planting a lot of different crops in my farm. I'm learning from my initial experience with the previous spring season, now knowing that various crops have different timelines for their growth cycle, and some of them might take up half of the summer season. That's one thing that I'm really starting to appreciate about this game, which is the passage of time and recognizing that there are consequences for my decisions based on how I plan things out. At the same time, I try not to feel stressed about it. Thinking about how time passes actually makes me more grateful. Perhaps part of what's going through my mind is that it's also Thanksgiving season at the time of this recording. After I went to Pierre's store, I followed through on picking up more seeds for various crops and started planting them. And I'm also making more use of the farm area that is surrounded by this basic wooden fence I created. I've been thinking about creating more crop areas around my farm, but I'll need to clear out more trees and grass. I've been holding off on cutting down grass because some of my viewers told me about building a silo, but I don't see that option to make a silo from my crafting menu. Maybe I need to hire someone else to make the silo? And I'm also fishing more during the afternoons and early evenings. As expected, there are different fish available during the summer season, and I also discovered a treasure chest while fishing, and there was some bait in it. I guess this happens from time to time, and I should figure out how to use the bait when I'm fishing. In the evening, I stopped by to visit Linus in his tent because I've never seen him at the saloon with the other townspeople. He wasn't very talkative, so I left him alone, but I'm wondering if there's a specific gift that he likes which will help him to open up. I'll have to leave that for another day. This is my day 31 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I went outside early in the morning, I started to see some of my summer crops starting to blossom. I planted wheat for the first time, and I think the wheat is the tall grass-like crops that are popping up just under my scarecrow. Wheat was on my priority list because it has the shortest growth cycle of all the summer crops from what I saw at Pierre's general store. And later on, I chopped down some trees around my farm because I'm still on this routine of gathering wood materials to craft more stuff. Fishing has become one of my favorite things to do as I now have a bamboo pole that I bought from Willie's shop. I caught a river jelly today, which was a curious looking thing. I'm not sure what to do with it, but I made sure to tuck it away in my inventory and then later in one of my storage bins at the farm. I also caught a sunfish, which also appears to be a unique fish for the summer season. And then later on, I went exploring and found an area that I'd never been to before. There was a large building that had a gym and a bathhouse inside, but no one was there. I tried going into the weightlifting room, and a message came up saying that I wasn't strong enough to use the weights. I guess I have to gain some more experience points or build up my strength in some way. You would think that all the chopping down trees at my farm would have given me some arm strength at a bare minimum. Oh, and I'm learning to plant some mixed seeds that I found around my farm. Some of my viewers gave me tips to do that, so I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of crops or flowers come from the mixed seeds. It definitely saves me money from buying seeds at Pierre's general store, even though I still want to support Pierre over Joja Mart. This is my day 32 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Well, at the time of this recording, it's the Thanksgiving holiday, so I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and many blessings to you and loved ones. It's been quite a journey playing Stardew for the first time and making these vlog videos, so I'm thankful for all the help and support that my viewers have been sharing, as well as stories of your own experiences in the game, so thank you very much. And so, just like past mornings, I started off my day at the farm with the usual tending to my crops. My wheat is starting to look good, and I'm trying out a lot of different crops for this summer season. Also, I started fishing earlier in the day, so I went down to Willie's shop and caught a river jelly. Now that I picked up the bamboo pole, I've been getting a better handle on the fishing mini game. Today I actually caught a halibut and I sold it to Willie. This was a big milestone for me because it was the first time I sold a fish to him. Oh, and I remembered there was a broken bridge near the river that required a lot of wood material to fix. I've been gathering a lot of wood on previous days, so I figured today was the right time to get this done. After I fixed the bridge, it opened up this new area that had pools of water and some corral that I could collect. I love that there are still new areas of the map that I can discover, and it adds to the adventure of every day in Stardew Valley. Finally, later that evening, I tidied up around my farm and planted some more mixed seeds. This has become my nightly routine before heading to bed, as I'm curious to find out what crops or flowers will come from the mixed seeds. This is my day 33 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I got up early in the morning and checked my TV, and it was strange because everything had this green haze over it. I had never seen anything like it before. Also, on another note, at the time of this recording, it's the day after Thanksgiving, so I hope everyone had a chance to rest and relax and have some good food. I guess you could say that this green haze in the game was an interesting post-Thanksgiving surprise to me, so I decided to go outside and check it out. And wow, there was this green rain everywhere. I think I remember one of my viewers telling me to keep an eye out for this green rain, but I didn't know what to expect. Is the green rain a good thing or a bad thing? It doesn't seem to be affecting me as I was walking around my farm, tending to my crops and gathering materials, and I noticed there seemed to be some new trees or large plants with curled leaves. When I walked to another area of Pelican Town, I used my axe to chop down what I think was a large fern. It made me think of the story of Jack and the giant beanstalk. I was able to pick up some materials from the fern, and I read the item description which called it a fiddlehead fern, so I decided to store it in my summer storage chest for later use. Later on, I went over to the saloon and found Mayor Lewis and a few other people. They all seemed concerned with the green rain, so maybe it was the first time that they had seen the green rain as well. I even saw Haley in the saloon, which might have been the first time I saw her there. Apparently, she also acknowledged the fact and called the place cozy. And then I thought I'd try some fishing to see if the green rain affects the fish in any way. I caught a fish, but it seemed normal, so I guess the green rain doesn't cause mutations or anything like that. I also visited the tide pools area since I fixed the wooden bridge recently, and this green rain is really interesting. I'm wondering if it has some kind of tie to magical lore in Stardew Valley. This is my day 34 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning, I went to check on my crops and a bunch of my wheat was ready to be harvested. I was excited because now I'm starting to save some of my crops in my storage chests while putting some aside to sell to Pierre's General Store. It's been on my mind to check on the different bundles in the community center where I can deposit specific crops and items. Afterward, I went to the bathhouse and gym, but I spent most of my time gathering materials outside. My mornings are usually pretty quiet, and I don't run into as many people. Maybe that's a good thing from time to time because it's nice to collect my thoughts and plan out my day without too many distractions. Eventually, I did run into Maru and Linus and have conversations with them. I wandered around the little lake area that has a lot of tiny bridges just to see if there were other materials I could gather. A little later, I saw Haley again, and she asked me what I do all day. I told her that I care for my plants, and she said it sounded like a lot of work. I wonder if there's a way to invite Haley over to my farm so I can show her, but maybe that means giving her more gifts. I did find Willie by the river, and he was fishing quietly, so I decided to join him. It was a nice moment of just the two of us fishing together and bonding. When I went to the community center, I started to deposit some more of the items into the summer foraging bundle. I figured out that this is how you start to make progress in rebuilding the center, but then I realized that there were bundles for different seasons, and I missed the spring one since spring is over. I guess I'll have to tackle summer, fall, and winter first, and then take care of the spring bundle next year. In the evening, I went back to my farm and chopped down some more trees to gather wood. I've noticed that during the summer nights, there are fireflies floating around, which I think is really cool. It makes me feel peaceful in the evenings. This is my day 35 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I was tending to my crops in the morning, I realized that it's starting to take a lot of time to water them with just my watering can. I saw in my crafting menu that I can make a sprinkler, but I don't have all the materials I need for it. I think the menu said I needed copper bars, which I'm not sure how to make yet. One of the things I like about the summer season is the little details that are different from the spring. For example, I see the shadows of large clouds floating over the land during bright and sunny days. I also have a color-coded storage bin specifically labeled for summer, and it's starting to fill up with different crops I've harvested, as well as forageable items I found around my farm. Today I also went to the community center and started to add to the menus for the different bundles, so I'm making progress on the summer foraging bundle. Although when I tried putting the grapes in the inventory slot, it wouldn't go in. I'm not sure if that is because I need to put it in another slot, but I'll figure it out. I also noticed that there are new bundles that opened up at the center, including one for animals and another one for fish. That probably means I have a lot more gathering and collecting to do. In the evening, I planted more seeds that I had bought from Pierre's general store, and I'm thinking I might want to craft a torch or two around my crop area so I can see better in the dark. This is my day 36 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. First thing in the morning, I checked my TV and got some tips on planting corn. I think I've already planted some outside of my crop area because I remember some of my viewers recommending that I start planting corn because it is good for summer and I think fall as well. Yeah, it is taking me a long time in the morning to water my crops with just one watering can, so I'm just trying to figure out more efficient ways to do this. At the same time, I find it kind of soothing to just water each crop one at a time. I am noticing that it does take energy from me to do so. I've been expanding my range of crops because I found a bunch of mixed seeds and I planted them, so I'm waiting to see what they will produce. I didn't plant as many mixed seeds during the spring season, so this is a new development for me. Also, I went back to the community center to check out the different items that I need to gather to fix the whole place. When I was scrolling through the different bundles, there were crops and items that I haven't seen before, whether they were crops to grow or fish to find or even desserts and pastries to make. I guess it could be overwhelming to think about how am I going to create all these things, but I didn't find it too stressful, to be honest. I figure I'll take this one day at a time and discover the ways to gather or make these items. When I went back to my farm, I thought about creating a second space for crops near the water bowl for my dog Thanos. So I used the hoe to till the soil, and I was picturing what it might look like with a wooden fence around the perimeter. However, I worked myself a little too hard and didn't have enough field snacks or forageable items to boost my energy. So I decided to go into my house and take a nap to upgrade my energy, which took a long time. This is my day 37 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today my hot peppers were ready to be harvested, so I'm making sure to save a few in my storage bin that I've been color coding for summer, which is marked in a deep blue. I'll have to figure out the colors I will use for my autumn and winter storage bins soon. I was trying to remember if I needed a hot pepper to donate to the community center, so I'll also check that later on. I'm also noticing that my crop area in front of my house is pretty filled up right now, so it's probably going to take a while before I harvest most of these crops. That will free up my time to go foraging for materials or to fish or explore the mines. Actually, later on when I was wandering around, I found this new area where there was a broken down bridge. It looked like it was at the side of a mountain. I thought I even saw something that looked like the bones of a skeleton sticking out of the rocks. I'm not sure where this bridge leads, and there weren't any clues laying around on how to fix the bridge, so I guess I'll discover how to fix it sometime in the future. Afterward, I went fishing near the river and I caught a bream. I noticed that the difficulty level of the fishing minigame can vary depending on the size and weight of the fish. During the summer, I think the hardest fish for me to catch has been the chub, which is a heavy one. It just takes longer to catch it. In the evenings, I continue to chop down a few trees, including some smaller ones, and I used some of the materials to make my first field snack. I remembered some of my viewers suggested that I craft field snacks to keep my energy level up when I go visit the mines. So now I'm ready to venture deeper into the mines and will make some more field snacks for the trip. This is my day 38 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my TV in the morning after waking up, I saw there was a weather announcement for tomorrow and there is going to be a luau event. That sounds pretty exciting, as I'm guessing the entire town will be there. I've been enjoying these community-wide gatherings for Pelican Town, but at the same time I recall that they often take a large portion of the day, so it does cut down on my time to work on my farm or go visit other areas if I want to fish or mine. Afterward, I checked on my crops and they're still continuing to grow. Nothing much to harvest for today, so I figured that I would go explore other areas around town. I went to the tide pool area and gathered some more forageable items because I've learned that this is one good way to earn some more credits. I really like how the water around the tide pool area is that bright blue color, which is very soothing to me. Later on, I went to Robin's shop, and this is where I started taking a closer look at the menu because I've been thinking about building a silo. I think I have enough stone and clay materials to make the quota, but I don't have the copper bars yet. And to make copper bars, I think I need to make a furnace along with copper ore. So there's still some steps I need to take before I can get to the silo. It was also good to see that I can make a fish pond, a cabin, and a stable at Robin's shop, so those are things I'm looking forward to building. A bit later, I went to the mines to look for some more copper ore because I want to start saving up for making bars for the silo. And then I ran into Linus and gave him a forageable item, which made him happy. And then I stopped by the bathhouse and went into the sauna for the first time. I noticed that most of my clothes came off, and I'm wearing underwear when I'm in there, which was funny to see. It seems to take a long time to regain my energy in the sauna, but it was relaxing to hang out for a bit. This is my day 39 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I checked my TV again in the morning and it looks like there was an update on finding unique clamshells on the beach during this part of the summer season. I know today is the luau event, so I plan to check it out after I take care of tending to my crops outside my home. After heading out of my house, I made sure to fill the water bowl for my dog Thanos and to give him a pat on the head. My crops are starting to grow even more, and I feel like this summer season has been a bit more methodical than my first spring season. I think that's because I have a better idea of timing out the growth cycle of the crops. For the luau, I knew that I should bring something to the event, so I decided to take a hot pepper, which is one of my recently harvested crops. When I went down to the beach, the luau was in full swing, and I was amazed to see all the decorations. There are a few people who I haven't had the chance to run into recently, like Elliot, so I made sure to say hi and have a brief conversation. The water by the beach was bright blue, which I really enjoy. There was a giant soup cauldron, so I tossed my hot pepper in there. Maybe that will add a little spice to it. And I kept walking around and talking to different folks. I also saw Haley again, and she said she didn't want to get sweaty by dancing with the other people. When I went to talk to Robin, she was dancing with someone else, and I think I accidentally stepped on her foot. I saw the wizard as well, and he was talking about mer people, which is the first time I've ever heard of that. I wonder if I will meet these mer people in the future. Afterward, everyone gathered around the soup cauldron so that the governor could taste it. He thought it was mediocre, and that made Mayor Lewis anxious. Finally, in the evening, I tidied up my inventory and then went to sleep after a long day of festivities. This is my day 40 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today, after tending to my crops, I stopped by Abigail's house and saw her playing a video game. She invited me to play because I think she needed some help to get past the first level. And the game was hard. We didn't get past the first level and she was sad afterward. I felt bad for her as well because she must be trying really hard to beat the game. Later on, I went to the beach and to the tide pools and gathered some more forageable items. I saw Evelyn in town and remember that she liked ocean stuff, so I gave her one of the items from the tide pool as a gift. She liked it, and that was a nice moment in my day. I've also been fishing as a regular part of my day, and today I caught a rainbow trout. I think this kind of fish has been more commonly found during the summertime because I've been catching a lot of rainbow trout. And then I wandered further down south in the map and I found this curious looking house that sells hats. There was a cat at the front door. I wasn't sure if the cat was a decoration on the door or if the cat actually is the hat seller. I also found a vendor who was selling food and other items from a cart, and I wondered if this vendor had been there the whole time. I'm discovering more things as I explore new corners of the map. Finally, I went to go see the wizard, and he was saying that he thinks the townspeople are afraid of him. I've been wondering if there's something I can gift to the wizard, but I haven't figured out what that is yet. This is my day 41 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I noticed it was raining today, and so I saw my dog Thanos inside our home and gave him a pat on his head. I realized that I haven't put much effort and time into decorating inside my home because I'm usually outside. I should start looking into decorating the space. Outside it was raining, normal rain, not the green rain that I saw a while back. I wonder when the next green rain day will be. Also, I went fishing because I haven't done that yet on a rainy day. I ended up catching a chub, which is the heaviest one I've come across. And then I went to Pierre's general store since I've been saving up, and I finally bought the backpack. This was a big milestone for me because some of my viewers have encouraged me to pick it up. Later I went down to the beach and I saw Sebastian and Willie at different spots. The beach feels different on a rainy day, especially with the thunder and lightning. This also might have been the first time I noticed the thunder during a storm. When I went to the tide pool area, I saw the mariner who talked about wanting to sell an old amulet, but he said I wasn't ready for it yet. I wonder what it takes to get the amulet. I'm thinking maybe I need to go on a few more adventures and gain some experience before getting the amulet. Afterward, I went back home and remembered that I had an extra wooden fence post, so I placed it in a new area that I'm trying to develop for crops. It was getting late in the evening, so I tidied up my farm and then went to sleep. This is my day 42 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today was more of an easygoing day for me. When I checked my mailbox in the morning, I saw a letter from Pam requesting a pale ale, so I accepted the quest. I'm not sure where to find one of those, but maybe I can make one or buy one somewhere. I also harvested a lot of my crops today and made sure to save a few extra ones in my storage bin. I think the end of the summer season might be coming up around day 56 if each season is 28 days, so I'm keeping my eye on that. When I went to the beach, I chatted with Haley and Alex and then found a rainbow shell. I remember one of my viewers telling me about looking for the rainbow shells, so I'm glad I finally found one and will store it at home. Is there a magical quality to the rainbow shell? I'm not sure, but we'll hold on to it. When I went fishing in the tide pool area, the only thing I got was some trash. I kept on getting trash instead of fish, so I'm not sure what that means. I also went to Willie's shop to check out the different rods, since I only have the bamboo one now. I'm saving up to get the fiberglass rod. I also saw Evelyn and gifted her one of the forgeable items from the tide pool area, and then I went to the saloon to try that video game, Journey of the Prairie King, again. I had played it with Abigail, but the game is still hard. Then I ran into Abigail outside, and she said maybe we'll be neighbors someday, and that we both have similar weird tastes. Maybe I should get to know Abigail a little more and give her some gifts. Finally, at the end of the night, I got this option menu to choose either to be a forester or a gatherer, so I chose gatherer. Hopefully that leads to some good things to find when foraging. This is my day 43 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my mailbox in the morning, I got a letter from Mom and she sent some money that Grandpa had left for me. This warmed my heart and it was a nice way to start out the day. Mom said that she missed me and I wonder if I will get to see her during this game. Later on, when I went into town, I saw Penny helping George with the mailbox. He was grumpy and went away, and I think Penny was feeling a little unsure of herself. But I encouraged her and it was a sweet moment. Then I went into the mines because I wanted to spend more time there and gather more stone material and copper ore. One of the things that I want to craft at my home is the furnace to make copper bars. I took a quick break to go to Clint's blacksmith shop and recognized that I can upgrade my tools to copper ones there, but it also requires a lot of credits and copper bars. So in the evening, I stayed focused on working in the mines. I ran into a couple green slimes and brought my rusty sword, so I took care of the slimes. They're very squishy and they can jump around a lot. I noticed that when the slimes hit me, I turned green. In the mines, I found a lot of quartz, but I'm not sure what to do with it yet. And when the evening ended, this option menu came up to choose either being a rancher or a tiller. So I chose rancher because I'm curious about having animals on my farm, although I don't have any yet. This is my day 44 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I walked outside my home in the early morning, I saw that Emily sent me a letter in my mailbox. Inside the letter, I found out that she sent me some cloth as a gift. I think this is the first time I've seen cloth as an item, and I remember that there are some farm buildings that Robin can build that require cloth among other materials, so I'm storing this cloth for future use. Also, I went back into the mines and battled a couple green slimes. I'm getting used to the rusty sword and being efficient and more effective with clearing out slimes as I go deeper into the mines. I've been wondering if the ladder holes that appear after you break up rocks with your pickaxe are randomly placed at each mine level. At first I was thinking of trying to memorize the placement of the ladder holes, but they seem to be different every time. Back at my farm, I finally crafted my first furnace and I set it nearby the water bowl for my dog Thanos. There was a new journal entry that popped up about smelting. So I took some coal and iron ore, or actually some coal and copper ore, and started to make my first copper bar. As it got later in the evening, I was in a crafting mood, so I saw that I could make preserve jars. I wasn't sure what they do, but I read some of the details on screen after I made one. And it looks like I can make stuff out of putting vegetables in the jars. Finally, I made a lot more small torches and started to place them strategically around my farm and crops so that I can work late at night and see where I'm going. This is my days 45 to 46 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So at the time of this recording, it's Christmas Day, and I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I'm grateful for this past year and getting to know the Stardew community, and it's been an amazing experience learning about this world for the first time. So thank you for watching and sharing all your tips and insights, as I appreciate it. Now back to the game. Today was filled with different activities. When I woke up in the morning, I saw a notice on my TV about harnessing lightning during storms and making battery packs. That was the first time I've heard of this, so that was really cool to discover. Later on, I went to Clint's blacksmith shop and processed some geodes. It looks like I got something that appears to be sandstone, so I believe I can donate that at the museum. Then I went back into the mines where I've been using that basic rusty sword against the green slimes while gathering more copper ore and quartz crystals. Back at the farm, I crafted a second furnace and a kiln. I've been stacking them in a row a little bit behind my house to the upper left. I really like this aspect of being able to craft devices and contraptions for the farm and expanding the things I can make and do. In the evening, I went down to the beach and I was having some trouble catching the fish with my bamboo pole. I'm thinking that I need to save up and buy the fiberglass pole from Willie's shop. So I'll plan to do that for another day. This is my days 47 to 48 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning, I checked my mailbox and got a letter from Demetrius requesting a melon. It's a good thing that I've been storing up fruits and vegetables in my storage bins, so I had one available to give to him. And then I checked on the 3 preserve jars that I set up outside the front steps of my home, and one of them was done making some red jam. I think I had put a hot pepper into it, so this is probably going to be some spicy jam. And then since I want to keep things moving along at my farm, I put a tomato in the jar to start the next batch. Later, I went to Robin's shop and gave the melon to Demetrius. He gave me some credits as a reward, and then I went back to Clint's blacksmith shop and processed a few more geodes. I went back to my farm later in the evening and set up a tapper on one of the trees. I remember some of my viewers recommending I start building tappers, so I guess they collect liquids from the trees. I cleared some of the grass around the tree because I thought it would make it a little easier to spot it. And I know I didn't want to cut too much grass because I haven't built a silo yet. Finally, I saw Robin building a well next to my crop area as I had commissioned her to do so. I'm hoping that having this well will make it a little easier to refill my watering can. This is the first time I'm having something built at the farm, so it's a major milestone for me. And a bit later, I started to clear out a second area for planting crops, so I should also pick up some seeds for this area soon. This is my day 49 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Well, at the time of this recording, it's New Year's Eve, so I hope everyone is having a restful last day of the year. Will anyone be playing Stardew to celebrate New Year's Eve? I'm really thankful for getting to know this community, so it's a joy to share these moments with everyone. Back in the game, I woke up on a rainy day, which often makes me want to take a nap, but I knew that I wanted to check on my crops. My summer storage bins are getting full because I've collected a lot of stuff and saved up things that I found along the way. When I went down to the harbor, I was having a hard time fishing and wasn't able to catch anything. The fishing minigame seemed harder to play, but I didn't stress out about it too much, so I went back to the farm and planted some more seeds in my crop area. I'm wondering what increases my experience level for farming. Is it planting more crops or harvesting them that increases your level? I usually tend to my crops every day, so hopefully that is adding to my experience level, even if it's just a little bit at a time. Later on, I visited Robin's shop and scrolled through the menu for building options. I've been planning on getting a silo, so I had to check out what materials I need for that. I didn't know you could build a slime hatch, which seems funny. All I know about slimes is that you can kill them in the mines, so I wonder what would be the purpose of a slime hatch on my farm. Since it was raining, I also visited the mines and gathered some more stone materials and copper ore. I saw the elevator, but it looks like I need to be at level 40 in the mines to use it. Then I went back home and made some copper ore with my furnaces before heading to bed for the evening. This is my day 50 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So at this time of recording, it's New Year's Day, so Happy New Year to everyone and the whole Stardew community. Hope you get to have a restful day today. Now back in the game it was raining and I found 2 letters in my mailbox. One from Marlin giving me a quest to take down slimes to join the Adventurers Guild, and another one from Pam for a cheese cauliflower recipe. Rainy days are starting to become some of my favorite days in Pelican Town. Then I went into the mines and found an item for basic retaining soil, which I assume I can use in my farm. And a bit later, I stopped by Robin's shop and talked with Maru and Demetrius. When Maru momentarily left the room, Demetrius told me that he didn't want anything to get in the way of his daughter's bright future. I wasn't sure if that was a threat, but I was respectful toward him. I realized that these cutscenes helped me to understand the different relationships between characters, and I'm discovering a lot more about everyone's personalities. I went to the shop because I wanted to commission Robin to build my first silo, which I've been hoping to get done because there's a lot of grass growing on my farm. And then later that night after I went to bed, this strange cutscene played saying that mystery boxes can now be found. I don't think I've ever seen these before, so maybe I'll run into these mystery boxes soon. This is my day 51 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning I went back to my usual routine of watering and tending to my crops. I'm realizing that the end of the summer season is approaching in about 5 days, and I still have a lot of crops that are growing. I think corn can be grown in the summer and fall, so I hope some of them will last into the new season. Later on I went to Clint's blacksmith shop and processed a few more geodes. It's been on my mind to upgrade some of my tools at his shop, but I need to make some more copper bars. I was thinking of upgrading my watering can as a first step. When I went back into the mines, I gathered some more stone materials and practiced using the rusty sword to take out green slimes. I accepted the quest from Marlin to get 10 slimes, so I'm gradually making my way toward joining the Adventurers Guild. And then I went to the beach to gather some more clamshells. I traveled to a lot of different places today, so I might as well make it a grand tour of all the different terrain. Finally, in the evening, I kept my furnaces busy by making more copper bars, and I also started making my first iron bar. I noticed that I needed iron bars for some of the structures that can be built through Robin's shop, so I wanted to get started on accumulating those necessary iron bars. This is my day 52 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today was my first day using a silo at my farm. Robin had been building it the previous day, so I finally saw its completed form early in the morning. This has been a long time coming, as I remember that several of my viewers recommended that I build a silo before cutting any of the grass around my home. As you can see, a lot of grass has been growing, so I needed to build a silo as soon as possible. But when I was cutting the grass, I noticed that there was a limit to how much grass the silo can store. Does that mean I need to build more silos back to back to keep storing up all the grass that's growing like crazy around my farm? Looks like I need to start gathering more materials and making some more copper bars to pay Robin again to make more silos. Later on, I went down to the beach and the tide pool area, and I saw Leia hanging out, listening to the sound of the ocean. It seems like she does this a lot, so I wonder if there are specific gifts I should give her from the beach that might increase my friendship level with her. I've actually not been progressing as much on making friends with the people in Pelican Town since I started doing more fishing, mining, and building new structures at my farm. I also ran into Abigail near what I think is a cemetery, and she talked about wanting to live in an old farmhouse like mine. She seems to have a lot of quirky interests. Oh, I also tried some fishing, but only got seaweed. I think some of the structures that Robin can build require seafood as a material, so I'm starting to store this at my home. And then I made some new torches and placed them around my farm so that I have more lighting in the evenings to continue my work. This is my day 53 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I got up in the morning, I checked my TV and there was an announcement for the upcoming fall season. I guess it is best to be prepared, and apparently there are going to be new seeds that are very lucrative. Then I went outside and I ran into Demetrius, who proposed to build some kind of lab or structure in the cave near my home. So I chose mushrooms as the thing to grow there. I assume Demetrius is going to make something to harvest mushrooms in the cave. As the morning progressed, I continued harvesting my crops and my preserve jars were finished making some more jam. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with multitasking around my farm during the summer season compared to the spring. It's been nice to see all these different operations underway at my small farm, and it's satisfying to harvest crops and sell them every day. When I went into the cave next to my farm, I saw these large buckets, or maybe they were tubs inside. So I'm guessing they are part of what Demetrius is going to build in there to grow mushrooms. When I went to the beach, I saw Haley again standing under the sun. She always seems to be in that one corner during this time of day, but I'm never sure what she's doing or if she's waiting for someone. I think Haley might be the one person in Pelican Town who I've given the most gifts to, but I still need to give her more to increase the number of hearts in our relationship. When I went back to my farm, I continued working on a second crop area near the silo, but I'm also thinking that I may need to wait until the fall season to plant seeds there. There's only a couple more days left in the summer, and I don't want the crops to die when fall comes through. Finally, at the end of the day, this menu came up showing that I'm now level 3 for fishing, so I assume that helps with getting more perks with fishing in general. This is my day 54 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning I saw my dog Thanos inside the house, so I patted his head. I heard some raining outside, so that led me to think about doing some other tasks today, besides watering my crops. I could go to the mines, or do some fishing, or even go on longer runs to gather forageable items. When I checked my inventory, I noted that I had purchased a bunch of summer-related seeds and had not planted them yet. I figured that I can store these for the next summer season that comes around because I only have a few days left in this one before fall starts. I've been color coding my summer storage bins as a dark blue, and I have 3 of them now, so I've been collecting a lot of stuff during the season. I decided to go on a run to collect forageable items, and I made it up to the empty train station area. This place has always intrigued me because sometimes I see these notifications pop up about a train passing through Pelican Town, but I can never get up there in time to see a train passing through when I'm walking all the way from my farm. So the train is still a mystery to me. When I went to Robin's shop, I did a little bit more window shopping by browsing through the different structures that she can build for me. I'm excited to gather enough materials to start building more stuff at my farm, but so far it's been going slowly because it does take me a while to make those copper bars. When I went fishing at the river near Clint's blacksmith shop, I caught a broken CD. I'm not sure what to do with it, but I'll bring it back to my storage chest and toss it in. Then I went down into the harbor, and I thought about catching a bunch of fish there and just walking over to Willie's shop to sell them right away. Part of my strategy was to gather more credits so that I can pay Clint to upgrade my regular axe to a copper axe. So I basically went fishing for most of the day and evening and then sold the fish to Willie. Late at night, I returned to my farm to keep cutting down more trees because I know I need a lot of wood material to commission Robin to build more structures. Honestly, this was a pretty busy day, and I got this menu at the end of the day showing I was level 6 now for farming. This is my day 55 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today I went over to Clint's blacksmith shop because I finally had the 2,000 credits and 5 copper bars that I needed to commission him to upgrade my axe. So this was a very exciting day because I've been working toward upgrading my tools one at a time. It looks like it'll take a couple days for Clint to finish the job. And I also bought some copper ore and coal from him as a quick way to grab those materials and throw them into one of my furnaces to continue making copper bars. Later on, when I went down to the beach, I saw Haley again at the same spot per usual. I'm still trying to figure out what I can give her as gifts because I remember giving her daffodils in the spring, but now it's summertime and I haven't discovered what she likes during that season. Then I remembered I needed to make some progress on rebuilding the community center, so I grabbed all the items I needed for the summer crop bundle and some more materials for the construction bundle. It felt very satisfying to deposit this stuff and get further along with fixing this place. But I noticed that once I completed the summer crop bundle, a new one appeared in the boiler room, and I had to check it out. I browsed through the tabs and realized that there is a lot of new stuff that I'm going to have to collect. And I went back into the mines and used the elevator for the first time. I think it took me to level 5, and I continued gathering more stone material and using my rusty sword against the green slimes. I'm still trying to make progress on the mini quest to take down 10 slimes. I saw the torches in the mines, and remember that some of my viewers recommended I grab them to use at my farm. I wasn't sure how to pick up the torches at first, but then I did figure it out when I used the hoe to uproot them. Finally, at the end of the day, I got these menus where I am now level 6 for foraging, level 1 for combat, and level 3 for mining. This is my day 56 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today's the last day of summer, and when I went outside, I saw a letter from the Stardew Valley Tribune wanting to feature my farm. That was a nice little thing to start off the day. I wonder if the Tribune will showcase the issue in my mailbox or if I will see it somewhere else. As I was tending to my crops, I also received another letter from Demetrius telling me about the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies, which I think caps off the summer season. I'll make sure to stop by for that tonight. And I know that there are a lot of crops on my farm that are still to be harvested, so I'm preparing for having to clear out dead crops tomorrow on the first day of the fall season. I know that corn can be grown and harvested in summer and fall, so that's good to know that my corn will keep growing. Since it was the last day of summer, I took some time to tidy up my inventory and also to make a few more copper bars. I also went to Clint's blacksmith shop to check on the progress for my copper axe, but he was still working on it. So I went down into the mines and managed to hit the 10 slime milestone. That means I can go to visit the Adventurers Guild now. And later that evening, I went down to the beach and talked to all the townsfolk around the harbor. It was a beautiful setting with the lit candles, and I enjoyed getting to know more about each person through brief conversation. When the moon jellies finally appeared, it was a soothing, surreal experience. There was a sense of sadness as well, as time is passing and fall is now upon us. I guess that is the nature of life when we come to terms with how life is always marching on, and it leads us to feel grateful for the time we have each day. This is my day 57 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. It's the first day of the fall season, and when I checked my TV in the morning, there was a notice about sunflowers. I remember that Haley likes sunflowers, so I've been storing some to give her as gifts. And as expected, when I went outside, I had a lot of dead crops that were holdovers from the summer season. I took some time to clear them out, and because I figured I should plant a lot more crops early in the fall to make the most of the 28-day cycle. I spent a good part of my day walking around Pelican Town and just taking in the new visuals of how everything looks different during the fall. I wanted to enjoy the sights, the sounds, and this really made me feel like things are changing. I also stopped by Pierre's General Store to check out the new seeds that are available, and I bought most of them. My plan is to plant them early and see what grows during this season. I still have some corn growing from the summer, so I'll keep that going. This also reminds me that I should look into using some fertilizer or special growing material that I can get at the store to help the soil. Then I went to Clint's blacksmith shop, and I picked up my new copper axe. It was finally ready, and this was a great way to start off the fall. I checked the options menu and then saw that I can also upgrade the copper axe to a steel axe, but I need iron bars for that. I'm thinking that I should upgrade my pickaxe next, since I could use that in the mines. Afterward, I went to the beach and collected some more shells, and everything really looks different, so I'm going to have to get used to it. Later, I saw Maru and Penny sitting at a bench, so I chatted with Penny for a bit, and then when I went back to my farm, I checked the small cave nearby and collected some mushrooms. I'm wondering if I should sell them or store them for later. I don't know how long it takes to grow these mushrooms, so I should find out more about this as soon as possible. And in the evening, I tended to my crops and remember that I had set up a sprinkler, but I haven't seen it working. That's probably because I need to plant some seeds around it, so I'll make plans for that. This is my day 58 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I got up in the morning, I checked on my new crops, and they're starting to grow, which is a good sign. I bought a lot of new seeds yesterday on the first day of fall with the intention of starting my crops early this season. I also have 3 preserve jars going, and that has helped me to bring some snacks along the way when I need to boost my energy. Later on, I went to this area on the map where there's a broken bridge. It hasn't been fixed yet, and I'm not sure when it will be, since there isn't a notice or a sign that tells me how to fix it. I decided to do some fishing nearby, which is the first time I fished during the season. Afterward, I ran into Mayor Lewis and Robin, who told me about the new special orders board, so I guess that will give me more quests to pursue. Then I went to Clint's shop and commissioned him to break open my first mystery box and geode. That was a big milestone for me. And I went by the Adventurers Guild for the first time and looked around the premises. It looks like the guild is a shop where I can get different kinds of gear, so maybe this is going to help me when I go into combat against creatures in the mines. I finished off the day by going into the mines and using the elevator, which is taking me further and further down. It's pretty cool to see the different structural elements of each level as you go deeper, so I'm going to explore more of this in coming days. This is my day 59 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning I checked my mailbox and got this letter from Marnie about requesting some amaranth for some cows. This was the first time I heard about this item, so I will have to keep an eye out on how to make it or find it. When I tended to my crops, I remembered I had some deluxe speed grow that I found, so I decided to try it on the soil. Using these upgrade materials is new to me, but I think I should explore it more because it would definitely help with having a faster growth cycle for harvesting crops. The only thing is managing the cost, since I've been trying to save up to upgrade my tools or to eventually build a barn near my home. Later on, I went to the museum and donated an emerald stone that I had found in the mines. I thought I would get an explanation from Gunther about it, but there wasn't much of a description. Maybe there's another way I should activate him explaining it in the museum, so I'll keep him looking around. Then I went back to my farm and checked out my mushroom cave nearby the house. It was growing, and I'm making sure to check it out every other day. Some of my viewers had given me this tip, so I'm building that activity into my usual schedule, and I appreciate the tips. And finally, in the evening, I placed some more torches around my crop area. I think it was a mix of torches that I had found in the mines and also ones that I crafted. This was also another tip from some of my viewers to pick up the torches in the mines, which has been helpful. Overall, it was a nice, quiet day in Pelican Town, and I'm getting more familiar with the fall season. This is my day 60 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I saw a notice on my TV about possibly being invited to a Grange display. It sounded like this is a showcase for premium crops and other goods, but I'm not sure when it's going to happen. I suppose I could use some of the items I've been storing away in my storage chests. Afterward, I went outside to tend to my crops, which are starting to grow during this fall season, and then I went into town and I saw Haley again. This time I was prepared and I gave her a sunflower. I'm hoping to give more gifts to Haley as time progresses. Then I went fishing near the beach and caught a sea jelly, and I caught a sardine right outside Willie's shop. When I went to the community center, I took some steps to start filling out some of the bundles because I've been checking out my menu throughout the day and seeing if I have the required items for these bundles. It feels good to make some more progress with rebuilding the community center. I went back home for a bit in the evening because I needed to make another storage bin and also to retrieve some more items for the community center. And then I went back to the center and added more items to the bundles, especially for the crab pot bundle, the geologist bundle, and the blacksmith bundle. So overall, it was a pretty productive day, and when I went back to the farm, I admired the lights from my torches around the crop area before I went to bed. This is my day 61 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today started off with my regular routine where I tended to my crops first thing in the morning. I think most of the crops are going to take a couple more days to harvest, so I probably can't use them for the Grange display that is coming up under a week. But I do have some other crops stored away in my storage chests, so I'll look into them to see what I can bring. I also checked on the small cave next to my house and gathered the mushrooms. I placed them in what I think is the dehydrator in the upper right corner. I only use the brown mushrooms, and I've noticed that the red cap mushrooms have a note on them that they can take my health away. So if the red ones are poisonous, I wonder what they are used for. And then I went to the community center to continue adding to the different bundles. There are some items in the exotic foraging bundle that I've never seen before, but I'll keep an eye out for them. When I went back to my farm, the autumn leaves were falling all around me, and I went to check the western area of my land, and it is very overrun with grass and trees. Since the winter season is coming up, I'm wondering if I should clear out this area. I would assume that grass would die during the winter, but will I be able to chop down trees during that season? If anything, I could chop down these trees now during the fall and store the wood in my storage chests for use during the winter. Later on in the evening, I went foraging in the woods even though it was getting dark and it was hard to see.
I've been wanting to upgrade my foraging experience level, and then at the end of the evening I went back to my farm and noticed that one of the wooden posts for my fence had deteriorated, so I fixed it. I guess the wooden fence doesn't last forever and needs to be refreshed from time to time.
This is my day 62 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. First thing in the morning I went to water the bowl for my dog Thanos and gave him a pat on his head. My crops are continuing to grow, but I haven't had a lot to sell off since it's still early in the fall season. So I went over to the community center and filled out more of the construction bundle while checking on the other bundles that I'm working on. Afterward, I went down to the tide pool area and did some fishing, as I haven't tried fishing that much in this area. I picked up a sardine using my fiberglass fishing rod, and then I got an anchovy for the first time at the harbor. Then I ran into Haley again, and she asked me what she should do today, so I told her to try some watercolor painting. I actually don't know if she likes to paint, but she seemed to like the idea. Also, the other options for suggestions were not ideal. Then, as I was heading over to the mines, I ran into Demetrius and he asked me how the cave experiment was going. I assume he was asking me about the mushrooms in the cave near my house, so I told him it was going well. And later on, when I went into the caves, I used the elevator again, and I think I went to level 10 and then took a ladder down to level 11. Now, this was the first time I ever saw a green tone level in the mines, so it was kind of strange and eerie. There was even a giant slime that attacked me, so I used my sword to take it down. And when I went back home that evening, I checked on my preserve jars, and one of them had some pickled corn ready. Maybe I should craft some more preserve jars and have a whole lineup of them around my house to increase production of these goodies. I'll sleep on it tonight and see how I think about it in the coming days. This is my day 63 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I checked my TV and there was a recipe for tortillas. So by now there are a couple cooking recipes that I've learned, but I haven't made much progress on actually making any of these food items. Maybe I should check my crafting menu again and see what items I need to make in order to cook and prep food. When I went outside to check my mailbox, there was a letter from Demetrius and he gave me a recipe for fried mushrooms. The recipes are really stacking up today, and maybe this is in preparation for the upcoming Grange display. Next, I went over to my mushroom cave by my farm and collected the latest mushrooms and put them in the dehydrator. I went into town and ran into Haley again. She told me about giving topaz to her sister, and that made me realize I don't think I remember who her sister is. But I should try to find out her sister's name as soon as possible. I checked the bulletin board next to Pierre's general store, and there was a notice for Earth Crystal for Haley. I have one of those, so I can definitely get one to her. Also, the note said that she will heart me forever, which I assume she means love, but I'm not reading too much into it. Later, I went to the Adventurers Guild and I picked up the wooden sword. I'm assuming this sword is stronger than the rusty sword, so now I have something stronger to battle the creatures in the mines. When I went into the mines, I've been continually using the elevator to go deeper, and I'm finding a lot of unusual creatures and things like mystery boxes down there. And finally, when I went back home, I checked on my inventory and then collected another jar from my preserve jar lineup. It was a pretty full day today, and I could use some good sleep tonight.
This is my day 64 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my mail in the morning, there was a letter from Linus asking for help with collecting blackberries, so I accepted the quest. I'm assuming this quest will be available during the entire fall season since it is tied to blackberries. Afterward, I tended to my crops, and I've taken note that this season, I haven't planted a full bunch of crops to take up my entire area in front of my home. It's only been a couple days into the fall season, so I guess I could buy more seeds at Pierre's store and fill out the empty spots around my crop area. I remember some of my viewers recommending that I make more tappers and place them in front of different trees around my house. Previously, I had one tapper crafted and attached to a green pine tree, so I found another tree with reddish leaves and put a tapper on it. Then I went to Clint's shop because I had a few geodes and a mystery box to break open after getting them from the mines. There are a bunch of new minerals and stones inside them, so I will donate those to the museum. Afterward, I went back to my farm and planted a few more seeds to fill up my crop area, and I loaded some copper ore into my 2 furnaces to make some more copper bars. And then I went into the mines to gather more minerals and fight off some creatures. In the evening, I went back to the farm and one of my preserve jars had some jelly ready, which I will sell off. That was a good way to finish the evening. This is my day 65 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. This morning there was a letter from Mayor Lewis about the upcoming fair in the town square, and I'm starting to get ready for the Grange display. I'm thinking that I could start to identify the items I want to bring, and right now most of these are likely going to be premium crops, fish, and some forageable items. I don't know if items that I gather from mining count for the Grange display, but I'll have some ready just in case. Afterward, I tended to my crops, and one of my preserve jars had some jam ready, and I noticed that two of my wooden posts had broken down, so I used some wood material to rebuild them. I wonder what the life cycle of these wooden posts are, because they seem to last for a while during the season. And then I went to chop down some more trees around my farm because I figured it would be good to clear some space and stock up on wood materials. I also checked my mushroom cave, and I've been making it a regular habit to go in there every other day. Based on my viewers' recommendations, I crafted a storage chest and placed it inside the cave so that I have a place to organize and track mushroom-related goods. I can definitely use it as a mushroom-dedicated bin instead of having to carry them all the way back to my house. I also took time to organize my inventory in my other bins as they've been kind of scattered. Later on, I saw Abigail and chatted with her, and she told me about how business in the shop has been bad since Joja Mart opened. I felt bad for her, but there was no dialogue option to encourage her. Then I went to the museum to donate several stones and minerals that I had from the geodes that Clint broke open. I also went fishing for a bit, and when I went home, one of my preserve jars had more jam. I've been selling this jam off since some of my viewers also said this is a good way to make money, and I'm hoping to save up to get the house upgrade from Robin's shop. This is my day 66 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning I checked on my crops, and I'm impressed how the corn continues to be a steady crop for me. I planted them in the summer and they've continued into this fall season. I also checked on my mushroom cave and put some common mushrooms in the dehydrator, and then I walked over to the harbor to get some early fishing done. I actually tried several different spots around the harbor and beach to see if I could catch different fish, so this was probably the first time that I really had a good streak of catching fish with my fiberglass rod. I don't think my fiberglass rod has broken yet, and I'm not sure if it does or not, but I'll keep using it because it is a very trusty rod. Afterward, I went up to the bathhouse and railroad station area. There were a bunch of rocks and wood laying around, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to gather these materials. I also went to the lake area near the mines and did some fishing. From what I've learned from my viewers, I could potentially catch different kinds of fish and aquatic things depending on the location and time of day. I checked the fishing bundle menu in the community center, and there are a bunch of fish I've never seen before, so I should experience a little more with my fishing times and locations. Then I went into the mines, and I remembered to collect some of the torches so I can use them back at my farm, and when I went home later that night, I organized my inventory to see what items I can sell off, and I also got this menu at the end saying that I was now level 2 for combat. This is my day 67 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. This morning I did my usual routine to tend to my crops, and I was pleased to see that my 3 preserve jars are busy making jam. It feels like my farm has its own little operation going, and there's a steady pace of activity day in and day out right now. Afterward, I went into town and I saw Haley. I remember there was a quest to give her an earth crystal, so I had one in my backpack, and I gave it to her. She received it as a gift, but I didn't see any notification about completing the quest. Maybe there was a time limit to it, or I didn't click on the right button to accept the quest. Then I went to the community center to add one more item to the fall foraging bundle. The last one appears to be a common brown mushroom, which I should be able to add if I go and check my mushroom cave back at the farm. I think today is an off day for the mushroom cycle, so I can check it tomorrow to gather some brown mushrooms. There really are a lot of bundles here in the community center, so I'm wondering how long it might take to fulfill all of them. It feels like it is a goal that will take most of the game to complete, but I'm not feeling rushed or pressured, which is nice. Later on, I went to Clint's shop, and I had him break open a bunch of geodes that I had gathered from the mines. There were all kinds of minerals in the geodes, so I'm planning to donate some of them to the museum. I might hang on to 1 or 2 of them for the Grange display if minerals are something I can add to the event. And then, when I went home in the late evening, I started organizing my inventory and my storage bins again. Part of this is to prepare for the Grange display and to identify any gold star items that I can use. Another reason for my organizing is to start grouping things in storage bins that will help me track materials that I can use for building or crafting more stuff. I've been meaning to look into making a cooking kit to try cooking some of the recipes I've learned, and I'm still on my way to saving up enough money to get the house upgrade from Robin's shop. This is my day 68 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning, I checked on my preserve jars outside my home, and there was only one jar ready for picking. I've been making sure to sell off these jars because I'm trying to save up to get the house upgrade from Robin's shop. I also had some sunflowers and pumpkins ready to be harvested in my crop area. Then I went over to Pierre's general store and I bought a few more seeds. I figured I could pick up some seeds that have a shorter growth cycle and use them to harvest and sell off to build up my funds. I also went over to the community center to add the pumpkins to the fall crops bundle. I should have a yam and an extra corn that I can add to this bundle in the future. Later, I went back to my farm to plant the seeds I got from the store. There haven't been many rainy days recently, so I've been making use of the 2 sprinklers and the watering can that I have. I'm thinking I could wait until the winter to upgrade the can, because I assume that I can't grow crops at that time. Next, I went to my mushroom cave, and I've been wondering what I should do with the purple mushroom and the chanterelle mushroom. Should I wait to gather 5 of each of them and then toss them into the dehydrator? I think the purple one is an item that I can donate to the community center for one of the bundles. Afterward, I went back to the center and donated a common brown mushroom to complete the fall foraging bundle, and I earned a reward, which was a bunch of fall seeds. A new bundle was opened, and I took a look at it and checked it out. At the end of the day, I went back to my farm and created a second crop area next to my silo and started planting the seeds I got from the center. It felt good to expand my farm, even just with this small patch of land. I'm not sure what these fall seeds will grow into, but I'm looking forward to some surprises.
This is my day 69 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my mailbox in the morning, I got a letter from Marnie who sent a gift of animal feed to help me. That was really nice of her to send, but I recognize that I don't have any animals yet because I haven't built a co-op or a barn. I'm still trying to save up to get the house upgrade from Robin's shop. Afterward, I tended to my second crop area that's next to my silo. Yesterday, I planted the fall seeds that I got as a gift from completing one of the bundles at the community center. I'm not sure what crops will be grown from these seeds, so I don't know the overall growth cycle or time needed to harvest them, but I'll do my best to water them every day. Then I went down to the beach to collect some more forageable items and use the hoe on a few worms to dig up a book. A notification said that it is a lost book and now the library has been updated. I guess I don't need to take any steps for that. I also did some more fishing at the harbor and ate one of my cranberries to regain some energy. In the evening, I explored the area around the bus to see if I could find the basket that Linus lost, but I still haven't found it yet. And back at the farm, I organized my inventory to track the different minerals that I can donate to the museum. And I also checked my mushroom cave to also track my inventory in a storage bin that I placed in there. Having this bin inside the cave helps me to quickly see the types and numbers of mushrooms that I have, so I can easily decide what to do what I can put in the dehydrator when I get 5 of each type. Finally, I got this menu at the very end of the night where I hit level 4 for fishing, and I can now craft some more recipes. This is my day 70 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning, I checked my mailbox and saw a letter from Marnie where she's now offering pet adoptions. I thought to myself, wow, can I imagine getting another pet because I have my loyal dog Thanos with me, and I've had him since the early days of my farm. But maybe Thanos could use another pet friend. Afterward, I tended to my crops, especially in my second crop area where I planted a batch of fall seeds recently after completing a bundle at the community center. I've also been making use of my furnace and constantly crafting coal by tossing in 10 pieces of wood. That's saving me a lot of time and credits from having to buy coal at Clint's shop. Then I went to check my mushroom cave and gathered the latest batch. I like the look of the chanterelle mushroom with its spotty or whole texture, but I don't have enough of them yet to throw into the dehydrator. I've only been tossing brown common mushrooms into it to make dried artisan goods. Then I took some time to clear more of the trees around my farm, as I've learned that this will help increase my experience level for foraging. And then I went to the community center to add a yam to complete the fall crops bundle. It feels good to get that done within year 1. I also completed the exotic foraging bundle by adding a purple mushroom and a chanterelle mushroom, and I got a reward which looks like food, and it was called Autumn's Bounty. I saw a new bundle open up called the Vault or something like that, and I think I can pay for individual bundles within it with credits if I'm interpreting this correctly. Later on, I saw Abigail and she asked me what color she should dye her hair. I told her that I liked her hair just as it is, and she said that's what she thought I would say. When I got to my farm, I set up the beehive that I got as a reward from the community center, and then I also saw this notification at the end where it says I'm now level 7 for farming. This is my day 71 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I saw a notification on my TV that tomorrow is going to be the Stardew Valley Fair, so I'm finally getting ready for the Grange display. Afterward, I browsed through my crafting menu and noticed that I can craft a lightning rod and also a transmute bar, which I think is an iron bar. I continued tending to my crops and tossed some wood into my furnace to make coal. And then I found this little owl statue surrounded by some grass near my crop area. I've seen these statues here and there around, but I'm not sure if this is tied to some entity or deep lore. Obviously, with a wizard wandering around this land, I've accepted that there is magic in this world, but I wonder why this owl statue is specifically at my farm. Later on, I made a cooking kit because some of my viewers said that I can use one to make food items, and I was thinking of cooking something for the Grange display. I ended up making a tortilla and some moss soup based on the items that I had available. Afterward, I also remembered that I can use my copper axe to chop up some hardwood, which I've learned are the big tree stumps popping up around my farm. Hardwood seems to be different than the regular wood that I get from most trees, so I assume this is a special resource that will become useful in crafting items. I also checked my various tappers that I placed on different trees, and one of them had collected oak resin in a jar. My preserve jars also were busy churning away at making some more jam and pickled items. It really feels like my farm is on its way with its small but steady operation as I get ready for tomorrow's fair.
This is my day 72 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today is the Stardew Valley Fair, and I've been getting ready to gather my best items for the Grange display. Before I went over to the event, I did my usual morning routine of tending to my crops, especially now that I have this second crop area that has a bunch of mixed fall seeds that I got from completing a community center bundle. Then I cleared out my inventory to gather the best gold star items that I had. I mostly have fish, crops, minerals, and some oil resin, plus the tortilla and moss soup that I cooked with the cooking kit. We'll see how it goes at the fair. When I arrived at the event, I saw a vendor selling a number of items, and I spotted a star drop and a rare crow. I've never seen those two items before, but they appear to be expensive, so I'm guessing that they're very valuable. I went around the fair talking to everyone, and I also saw Haley, and she told me about a fortune teller who set up her stand in the graveyard. And then I went to my stand for the Grange display and added the 9 items that I thought would be the best to represent my farm. As you can see, I also added the moss soup as one of the items. After the judging, Mayor Lewis actually told me that I won first place in the Grange display, which was pretty amazing. I wasn't expecting that at all, but it felt good to receive this accolade. I was given 1,000 star tokens, which I initially tried to multiply by spending it on the spinning arrow wheel game, but then I lost. So I took another shot and regained the same amount I lost on the wheel. I was trying to figure out a way to earn another 1,000 tokens in order to buy the star drop, but the wheel game was getting too risky. So I decided to buy the rare crow instead, since I could use it on the farm. I made sure to collect all of my items from the Grange display and bring them back home safely. So that was pretty much my first time at the Stardew Valley Fair, and it was a fruitful day. This is my day 73 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So after going to the Stardew Valley Fair yesterday, it feels nice to have a little break from all the preparation I was doing for the Grange display. I went back to my usual early morning routine of tending to my crops in my main area and also in the second crop area next to my silo. Also, I've learned that apparently the 10-year anniversary for Stardew Valley is coming up, so I'm wondering how a new patch update will affect my journey in the game. That's something to definitely look forward to as I continue one day at a time. Afterward, I checked my mushroom cave and collected a bunch of common brown mushrooms. The dehydrator also had a bunch of dried mushrooms that I can sell off. When I was checking my inventory, I remembered that I had a mystery box that I could take to Clint's shop to open, and I found out that there were a bunch of seeds inside the mystery box. I'll make sure to plant those as soon as I can back at the farm. Later, I went to the library and I read a book by Marnie that described how to take care of animals. I don't have any animals on my farm yet besides my dog Thanos, but I'm working towards saving up enough money to buy a barn. I'm getting close to the winter season, so I'm guessing that I'll need enough hay in the silo to feed them during the cold weather. Then I went down to the beach to gather a bunch of shells and other items, and then I went fishing in the evening by the river and caught a river jelly. I think this was my first time catching one, so I'll have to look into what I can do with this jelly. Maybe it's needed for one of the community center bundles. And then when I went back home, I planted the seeds I got from the mystery box, and this notification came up at the end saying that I'm at level 7 for foraging.
This is my day 74 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I got up in the morning, I saw this notification on my TV reminding me to store up hay for my animals when winter arrives. I'm trying to do the math in my head, but I still have a few days before winter and I'm trying to save up money to buy a barn. I already have one silo, so I'm not sure if Robin can build both a barn and a silo in the remaining time I have for the fall season. Afterward, I tended to my crops in both the main crop area and the second crop area that I have near my silo. I also checked my mushroom cave, and then I went over to the train station to collect a bunch of wood and stone materials. I realized that I should venture outside of my farm more to see what trees I can chop down as additional means of gathering resources. I'm starting to think about what are the best ways to prepare for winter since I won't be able to grow crops. I guess I can focus on foraging, fishing, and mining during that season. Later in the evening, I went back to my farm and checked on my inventory since I had gathered a lot of hazelnuts and moss. I tossed most of them into my selling bin to keep saving up money for the big barn purchase. I decided to make some more preserve jars because I already have 4 outside of my home. I'm assuming that the preserve jars can still work during winter as long as I have fruits or vegetables on hand to put in them. Then I crafted a second furnace because I've started to regularly toss wood materials into the furnace to make coal. That's been saving me some trips over to Clint's shop to buy coal or to go into the mines to gather coal when I can. So overall, it was a quiet day and I enjoyed just doing the simple things. This is my day 75 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. In the morning, I got a letter from Caroline requesting a pumpkin for her daughter, so I accepted the quest since I should have one stored in one of my bins. And since it was raining today, that freed up a lot of my time and energy early on, so I didn't need to water my crops. I actually checked on my second crop area near my silo, and the mixed fall seeds were ready to be harvested. There were a lot of hazelnuts and grapes and other wild berries. It was pretty fascinating to see all of them ready to be harvested. Then I went into my mushroom cave to gather the last batch, and I organized them in the storage bin that I placed inside the cave. It feels nice to be in the cave on a rainy day. I wish that I could stay at home and maybe just spend a day relaxing when it rains, but I know that I should try to keep preparing for the upcoming winter with whatever time I have left. I don't feel rushed, but I just want to do my due diligence while enjoying the journey. Later, I made a transmute bar, which I think is an iron bar, because I'm interested in crafting a recycling machine to place near my home. I've collected a lot of trash items when fishing, and I didn't know what to do with them until some of my viewers recommended that I toss them into a recycling machine. Then I went down to the beach and collected some more shells and other materials that I can toss into my selling bin. Back at the farm, I crafted a recycling machine and placed it in front of my silo. And when the sun went down, I continued to clear away grass and chop down some trees to gather resources. Yep, it was another quiet ending to a rainy day, and then I got ready to go to bed.
This is my day 76 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So right now there's about 8 more days left in the fall season before winter begins. My mornings have been pretty routine with tending to my crops in front of my home and in another second area that's to the left and near my one silo. I've been saving up money for several days to buy the house upgrade at Robin's shop, and I think today is the day to do it. It's been a journey to be dedicated in selling off crops, forageable items, and fish at the end of the day, and being responsible with what I'm spending so that I can build up funds for the home. There's something really satisfying with being patient and taking it one day at a time and all the little things. Later on, I checked my recycling machine right next to my silo, and I've kept it busy with crafting various items. Right now, my farm is operating on a lot of different fronts with crops, the recycling machine, preserve jars, furnaces, a beehive, and my mushroom cave as well. So there's definitely a lot to do every day around my home. I also saw a timed quest in my journal from Emily to get some green algae for her, and I'm pretty sure I have some in one of my storage bins. Then I saw Haley over at a bench, and she told me that the weather has been getting too cold to go to the beach. She really likes to go to the beach, and I often saw her there during the summer season. Afterward, I went to Robin's shop and ordered the house upgrade, which was around 10,000 credits. It's going to take 3 days, so it should be done before the winter season. It's exciting to see what the new house will look like with more space and hopefully other items. Then I went to the beach to gather a few things, and later I ran into Shane by a small dock and he invited me to get a drink with him. He seemed pretty melancholy, so I just sat by him and listened to what he had to say. It was a relaxing moment that allowed me to get to know him a little more. Finally, I went back home and fixed my wooden fence since some of the wood posts had decayed, and I took care of that before I went to bed for the night.
This is my day 77 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning, I checked my journal to review the quest to bring a pumpkin to Caroline, and I also received credits for bringing green algae to Emily. When I went outside, I saw Robin starting to work on the house upgrade, so this should be the first day she's working on it. It's nice to hear the sound of her hammer and tools working away on expanding my home. Afterward, I went to my mushroom cave, as I've been making sure to stop by here every other day, and then to toss 5 of each item into the dehydrator to make some artisan goods. I'm enjoying this simple rhythm of tending to these mushrooms. Then I went over to Marnie's shop, which I haven't visited much throughout this first year. It surprised me how much it costs for some of the pet licenses. Winter is arriving soon in under a week, so I'm getting ready as much as possible. Later, I wandered around the forests and lake areas around Marnie's shop, and in the evening I went back to my farm and tossed the latest jams from my preserve jars into my selling bin. Robin was still working away at the house, which I assume she will do for the next 2 days. It really does feel like the fall season, when the weather changes and you can just feel the sense in the air that the year is coming to a close. This time of year is always a bit melancholy for me as I think about everything that happened in earlier months. And one more thing, after I went to bed, the cinematic scene played where I saw what I think is a fairy flying past my crop area in front of my house. I'm not sure what that means, but it's probably related to some magical lore. This is my day 78 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I received a notification from Marnie after completing the quest to give her a pumpkin for her cows. It was 960 credits, and I guess Marnie was pleased with it. I've been wanting to do more of the side quests that I've accumulated in my journal, but most of my days are spent on the main tasks of farming, foraging, fishing, and mining while preparing for upcoming seasonal changes. Later, I went outside to tend to my crops, and I saw some of my sunflowers, cranberries, and eggplants ready to be harvested. I just got a tip from some of my viewers to try placing a torch on my sprinklers, so I will add that on my list of things to do. Then I went to the community center and added a red mushroom to one bundle, and I completed the construction bundle since I've started collecting more hardwood by using my copper axe. I saw Penny briefly sitting on a bench and then walked over to the beach to collect more shells. I went back to Penny and gifted her an oyster that I found, and she said thanks. And in the evening, I went back home to plant more seeds that I had in my inventory, and these should grow pretty quickly since I only have a few days left before winter arrives. Robin is still working on my house, and she was doing that into the late night. I'm excited to see what the bigger, newer house will look like when the upgrade is done. So overall, it was another quiet day on my farm. This is my day 79 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I was in my new upgraded house because Robin had finished it after 3 days. I was amazed at the bigger space, and I can see how there are a lot of opportunities to decorate the place. I noticed that the fridge allows for more inventory slots, so this is going to be a good place to store up stuff, especially for the winter. And in the kitchen, I saw that there's a menu that comes up for cooking items, so I'm looking forward to learning and using more recipes to make food. Later, I went outside and tended to my crops, and I also checked out my mushroom cave. Then I went to the beach and gathered more forageable items. I feel relieved that the house upgrade is done because a lot of this fall season has been preoccupied with saving up money for this big milestone. Now I can look into getting a coop for chickens for the winter, perhaps as the next step. Afterward, I went fishing by the harbor, and I also ran into Willie. There was a nice moment where we just sat next to each other, and I almost felt this peaceful vibe between us, like a surrogate father and son. These are the nice little moments that I love in Stardew Valley, where it's just connecting with each other, with other people in Pelican Town, and sharing precious moments. In the evening, I went back to my farm and tidied up my inventory. I don't think there's enough days left in the fall to start growing new crops in my second crop area next to my silo, so I kept it empty today. Then I went back into my house and marveled at my bigger bed before I tucked in for the night. This is my day 80 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. First thing in the morning, I woke up, and to be honest, I'm still getting used to the large space that comes with this house upgrade. I'm not sure how I'll decorate the rooms. Right now it feels like I'm living like a minimalist with just the bed and kitchen space with all the bare essentials. I remember there are menus in Pierre's General Store and Robin's shop where you can buy stuff for a house, so maybe that's something I'll look into further down the line. Right now, my priority has been to prepare for the upcoming winter season and to get a coop for chickens. And so after tending to my crops, I walked over to Robin's shop to remind myself what materials are needed for purchasing a coop from Robin. I also checked the amount of credits that it would cost to make it so that I can track how much I'm saving up for it. Scrolling through the menu at Robin's shop makes me think about what I could commission in the future, and there are a lot of cool things I want to add to my farm besides a coop and a barn. But one day at a time, which has been my way of approaching this journey. Afterward, I went down into the mines, which I actually haven't done in a couple days, so it was nice to go back down there. Some of my viewers have recommended that I prioritize going into the mines during the upcoming winter season, so that makes me think I should take the step to upgrade my pickaxe, soon to a copper axe. I've only upgraded my regular axe for chopping wood into a copper axe, so I'm thinking that I should probably upgrade my pickaxe and then my hoe in order to better prepare for the upcoming days. The mines are definitely a part of Stardew Valley that I'm hoping to explore more, as I'm hearing that there are a lot of levels to go to, and I think I've only scratched the surface so far. This is my day 81 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. After I got up in the morning, I checked my TV, which has become my usual routine to check the weather, info on spirits, and possible recipes, and then I went outside to check on and tend to my crops. I was pleasantly surprised to see that my preserve jars had finished making some jam, as that has been a good steady income for me during this fall season. I also took time to organize my inventory, as I've also been thinking about what items I should stock up on for the upcoming winter season. Afterward, I checked my mushroom cave and tossed some common mushrooms into the dehydrator. It feels really simple to check on the mushrooms and organize them in a storage chest that I placed inside the cave. There's something really soothing about organizing them and tracking them, and I enjoy these little things that I can do on a daily or every other day basis on my farm. Later on, I went down to the area that's south of my farm, which was filled with trees and rocks and a lot of wild terrain. I actually haven't explored this area that much, but I realized that it's a great place to gather wood and stone materials that I always need for crafting things. I'm also wondering if rocks will repopulate at some point in this area, because I assume that the trees will regrow if I replant them. Also, another major thing for me today is that I finally went to Robin's shop and commissioned her to build a coop. I placed it near my main crop area because that seemed to be the most spacious place, so I'm looking forward to finally getting some chickens. I'm thinking that once it's done by Robin, I will head over to Marnie's shop and purchase them. And I found the bookseller who was in town. I haven't bought any books yet, but I'm fascinated by some of the titles. I'm also wondering if the books can be donated to the library. Finally, I went back to my farm and took some time to relax and walk around before heading to bed for the night. This is my day 82 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my TV in the morning, I saw a notification for the Spirit's Eve that is happening tomorrow night. That's going to be on the day before the last day of the fall season, so now it really feels like time is flying by really fast. I remember one of my viewers telling me about Spirit's Eve and to try the maze that is there, so I guess there's going to be a maze game of some sort. Afterward, I went outside to tend to my crops, and I saw Robin working on the coop that I commissioned the other day. It feels good to see it getting made, and I appreciate that part of this journey where things are not immediately constructed when it comes to building structures around the farm. I like how there's a sense of time passing. I'm also reminded that since the winter season is right around the corner, most of my crops are going to die off, so I'm preparing myself for that seasonal change. Later on, I went over to the bus stop area because I'm still trying to figure out where to find the basket for Linus, which I think was a mini quest. Some of my viewers have told me to look around this area, so I've been shaking the trees and trying to check any hidden corners, but so far I haven't found it yet. I'll keep looking. Also, I stopped by Willie's shop because I remember one of my viewers also told me about a fish smoker that I can use. The price for the smoker is pretty high for me at the moment since I just bought the coop for my farm, but I'm putting this on my wish list to get in the near future. Then, when evening arrived, I went over to the saloon and chatted with a bunch of people. I haven't been visiting this place recently since I've been busy with other tasks, but it was nice to see some familiar faces there. And at the end of the night, I went back to my farm and threw some wood into the furnaces to make some coal before I went to bed. This is my day 83 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today is the day before the last day of the fall season, so it's time to prepare for Spirit's Eve, starting at 10 p.m. tonight. Since the event is later in the evening, I realized that I can fill the rest of the day with my usual tasks, so I tended to my crops right after I walked out of my front door. Oh, and I also remember that apparently today is the 10th anniversary of Stardew Valley, if I remember correctly. So happy 10 years to the whole Stardew community and to all my viewers who have supported me with these vlogs. I really appreciate it as a newcomer to this world, and it's been a joy to make these vlogs that I hope are calming and restful to you. So back at the farm, I checked my mushroom cave and organized my inventory of mushrooms in the one storage chest that I place in the cave. Then I went over to Marnie's shop and checked all the prices for the animals and pet licenses. My coop is still being worked on, so I think once it's done, I should be able to buy some chickens and then make some eggs during the winter season. Later, I wandered over to Leia's house, and there was this nice little scene where she showed me her sculpture, and she talked about the challenges of being an artist. That really resonates with me, and I did my best to encourage her. And then I went to see Willie by the river and had another surrogate father and son moment by fishing next to him. I also visited the wizard, but I didn't know what to give him as a gift, so I just checked out the entire tower. When it was time for Spirit's Eve, I went around the area and talked to everyone, and then I found the maze nearby. I actually stumbled around for a bit before I found a secret passage that led me to find what I think was a golden pumpkin. I'm not sure what it does, but I'll make sure to store it at my farm. And then I went and bought a new rare crow at the vendor's booth. I have one already, but I loved how one of my viewers told me that it's a reference to the movie Howl's Moving Castle. And at the end of the night, this menu came up saying that I'm now level 8 for farming. This is my day 84 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. After I woke up, I checked my TV and saw a recipe for artichoke dip. Now that I have the house upgrade, I'm starting to keep an eye out for all the different cuisine and cooking items that I can make in the kitchen. Also, today was the last day of the fall season, so I'm anticipating some big changes when winter arrives tomorrow. When I went outside, I tended to my crops, and it felt a little bittersweet knowing that all of these crops are going to be gone when winter starts. I think this has been the largest, most consistent group of crops that I've planted and harvested since the beginning of the spring season. It's been very helpful to hear from different viewers on how to plant seeds and to manage the different growth cycles throughout each season while also using sprinklers and a scarecrow. I'm very grateful for all of the tips, as I couldn't have done it without the help of all of you in the Stardew community. Later, I went back inside because I remember getting a tip from one viewer about crafting a storage chest inside the kitchen as a backup measure. That way I can store some food items nearby that won't get immediately consumed by accident when I'm making recipes, but I can still have easy access to manage these food items within arm's reach. Afterward, I went to the bus stop area and found the tunnel, which also came through another tip from several viewers. That means I finally found the basket for Linus, and it's on my to-do list to give it to him. This felt so good to finally find the basket. Then I saw Haley, and she told me about how she has never been to the forest, so she could get a blister on her foot. You know, maybe she'll change her mind about going to the forest when she sees how beautiful it is there. Also, I went to Clint's shop to open some geodes and a mystery box, and finally later in the evening, I made some copper bars and also checked on my preserve jars before I went to bed for the night. This is my day 85 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So today is the first day of the winter season, and everything really looked different when I went outside. I thought I might need to clear out my crop area of dead leftover crops from the fall season, but the whole ground was covered with some snow. So I guess I don't need to do any cleanup in that area, which actually was a relief because it freed up my time in the morning. I also saw that my coop was finished, and thanks to Robin's hard work, it was looking very sturdy and cozy. That means I should be able to go buy chickens from Marnie at some point, as well as get a heater for them. I went inside the coop and walked around to get familiar with the area. It looks like there is a long bench at the top and a box that contains some hay, which I assume comes from the one silo that I have outside. Later, I also went back to my mushroom cave, which I'm glad to see that it is steadily growing during the winter season. That should be another way that I can earn some income during this cold weather. Afterward, I walked outside and around my farm because I wanted to see how the snow makes all the trees look different. I also took my hoe and tilled the ground in my main crop area just to see what would happen. Some of my viewers have told me that there are winter crops, so I'm keeping an eye out on what I can plant here in the near future. Then, when I walked toward town, I saw this shadowy figure in a cutscene, and I wondered who that was. A new journal entry opened up giving me a quest to find this shadowy figure, so I assume this creature is tied to some magical lore. In town, I found Caroline and finally gave her the pumpkin she had asked for in the fall season. I had not seen her in quite a while, so it felt good to finally complete this mini quest. And then I went to Clint's shop and opened up several geodes, which revealed a whole bunch of different minerals that I want to donate to the museum. And I took my regular pickaxe and commissioned Clint to upgrade it to a copper pickaxe, since I plan to spend more time in the mines during this winter season. Afterward, I went to the museum to donate all the new minerals I collected, and I went fishing for the first time this winter at a nearby lake as the evening arrived. Then I went to the Star Drop Saloon to talk to different people, and it was cool to see the new winter clothing everyone was wearing. Everyone looked cozy, and at the end of the evening I went back to my farm to chop down some trees before wrapping up for the night. This is my day 86 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my mailbox in the morning, there was a letter from Robin where she described a new item called a wood chipper. It looks like it can break hardwood into regular wood, so that's good to know. Her letter said that wood can be hard to come by during the winter, which makes me wonder if I should store up on more wood. I have a lot from the fall season, and I was able to chop down trees during the first day of winter, but maybe Robin is talking about new trees not growing during the winter. One of the things I really wanted to do was to purchase chickens from Marnie's shop, so I walked over there, but it was too early in the morning, and her shop wasn't open yet. The snow was falling pretty hard, so it felt like there was this hazy filter over everything as I walked around. Later, I went to a nearby lake and did some fishing, and I ended up catching some trash. I have a recycling machine at my farm, so I'll toss the trash in there when I get back home. I also went down to the tide pool area to do some more fishing, and then I went over to the museum to donate a strange round mineral that I had found. At the general store, I saw Marnie talking to a few ladies, and I went by to visit with them since I was still looking to get chickens from Marnie's shop. But I discovered that I probably can't get them at this time because she's not there. She's meeting with these ladies. I found out that Marnie meets with them on a regular basis to encourage each other to stay healthy, which was good to hear. Later in the evening, I went back to my farm to chop down some more trees, and I also had the idea of crafting some more torches and placing them around the trees near my farm so I have better lighting during the night when I could do these activities. Finally, I went back inside my home, and I also placed a torch inside the kitchen to make it a little easier to see before I went to bed. This is my day 87 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So I checked my TV in the morning and saw a new recipe for baked fish, which sounded very tasty. I know that I can cook more items now since I have access to the kitchen with this house upgrade, but since winter started, I've been mostly focusing on getting my coop set up with chickens and also thinking about establishing regular routines of fishing and mining, since I'm not expecting to do a lot of farming during the season. Today, I also knew that Clint should be done with my copper pickaxe, so I went over there as quickly as I could and picked it up. So now I have my regular hoe and regular watering can that I need to upgrade, and I will have to save up on some more cash and make copper bars to get one of them upgraded soon. Afterward, I went over to Marnie's shop, and I finally purchased 4 chickens from her. One of my viewers mentioned that I could name them, so I thought about continuing the theme of Marvel Comics characters since I named my dog Thanos. So my 4 chickens are named Gamora, Nebula, Drax, and Groot, in honor of the Guardians of the Galaxy. At some point, I could get more and finish off with Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Mantis. I also made sure to buy a heater, and I placed it inside the coop to get the baby chickens warm. I'm guessing that these babies are going to grow bigger at some point and then be able to produce eggs. Afterward, I went back into the mines and I used my copper pickaxe for the first time. I noticed that this copper pickaxe is great at breaking up the larger boulders, which I was not able to do with my regular pickaxe beforehand. I got a little caught up in the mining and wasn't paying attention to all the energy I was expending. So later, as it was getting pretty late in the evening, I rushed back home and saw Robin along the way. I thought about eating a forageable item that could give me a little energy, and I had some holly in my backpack, and so I ate it. Now that was a big mistake because I didn't read the description carefully, and I got sick on the spot and collapsed, which ended my evening earlier than expected.
This is my day 88 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. So I had acquired some winter crop seeds, which I think were powder melon seeds, and I planted them outside of my crop area first thing in the morning. I'm surprised that there are opportunities to grow crops during the winter, and I assume that I need to water them, even though there's snow around, which is made of water. Afterward, I went into my coop and saw my 4 baby chickens, and I figured out how to pull hay from the silo and then place the hay on the long bench at the top. I'm guessing this is how I feed them daily. I'm trying to keep an eye out on what other things I need to do to take care of these baby chickens, since it's my first time I'm tending to animals, besides my dog Thanos. Then I went over to my mushroom cave and picked up some dry artisan goods in the dehydrator. I've been making sure to check the mushrooms every other day during the week, which seems to be a regular cycle, even during the winter season. And then I went down to the tide pool area and I did some fishing and found a broken CD. I made a note to toss that into the recycling machine back at my farm. Later I went back into the mines with my copper pickaxe and put in some hard work to gather a lot of stone materials. Now I'm wondering how going into the mines will be a money-producing activity during winter. I see that I can gather stone material and minerals and copper ore, but I'm thinking that I should store those items to craft other things. So are there other things that I can find in the mines that I can sell? Maybe I need to go to deeper levels in the mines to discover this. Finally, I went back to my farm and checked on my baby chickens inside the coop. The 4 of them were sleeping, and then I chopped some trees outside before I went to bed for the night.
This is my day 89 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I'm starting to get familiar with the rhythms of my first winter season, so after I woke up I checked on my powder melon seeds that are in my main crop area, and then I immediately went over to my coop to tend to my 4 chickens. These baby chickens are growing steadily, and I made sure to pet them and also put hay on the long bench at the top. I have one silo which was 100% full at the top of the winter season, so that means around 240 pieces of hay, and I'm only using 4 pieces of hay each day, so I should be good for the winter. Also, one of my viewers suggested that I reposition my sprinklers in my main crop area so that they can take care of watering the few powder melon seeds that are growing. So I made sure to do that. I have 1 regular sprinkler and 1 quality sprinkler, so I line them up close to the seeds to cover the majority of the area. Not having to water a lot of crops every morning is freeing up a lot of my time during each winter day. Afterward, I went into the long tunnel by the bus station and remembered another tip from one of my viewers about how the area between 2 lamps might be worth checking out. So I thought about crafting a torch and placing it there, and I discovered a power box that needs a battery. I don't think I've discovered how to craft a battery yet, so I'll keep an eye out for that. Then I went down to the harbor and caught a red mullet and a sea cucumber. The sea cucumber looks very peculiar, and I'm wondering what it can be used for, perhaps for crafting a cooking dish of some kind. And then later I went into the mines in order to gather more stone and quality minerals to sell off. And I saw this green fog that started to form on one of the levels. It didn't seem dangerous, but I looked at the time and it was late. I actually didn't make it back into my bed before the end of the night, so I collapsed outside from exhaustion. This is my day 90 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. I've got my regular winter routine pretty set right now, where I make sure to check out my 4 chickens in the coop. Today was the first time that I saw them in their large adult size, and so I noticed that they started to lay eggs, which I heard is a good source of income in the winter, thanks to tips from my viewers. I also made sure to lay out some hay on the bench to feed them, and I also picked up an old-fashioned hat that I had gotten from somewhere else, but I was storing it in a chest I placed in the coop. When I went to my mailbox, I got a letter from Clint asking for me to deliver some amethyst to Emily. Now I remember that some of my viewers commented how Clint has some strange, creepy behavior around Emily, so I was a bit wary of this. I accepted the quest, but I'm not sure how far I should go in helping him out. Then I went out to check my mushroom cave, which also has been a steady source of income during the winter. And I went over to the community center to start adding items to the winter foraging bundle, and there was a leftover reward of a charcoal kiln that I think was from a previous completed bundle. I went over to Clint's shop afterward to break open a mystery box and then donated more items to the museum. There was a book called The Fisherman Act 1, and it seemed like it was a play or a story of some kind. I also made it to the mines and did some work there before I went back home and made it to bed safely. So at the end of the night, this menu came up saying that I'm now level 8 for foraging. This is my days 91 and 92 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Today is the Ice Festival, so I wanted to get a few things done at my farm before heading over to Marnie's house, where the festivities are supposed to happen nearby. I made sure to check out my pet dog Thanos, who is always a welcome presence around my farm. I also checked on my recycling machine as I placed some quartz in there and it created refined quartz, which I assume I can use to craft some items. Afterward, I checked on my 4 adult chickens in my coop and they've been steadily laying white and brown eggs every day. I wonder if there's a difference between white eggs and brown eggs, but I've made sure to sell them off in my shipping bin at the end of each day. And then I went over to my mushroom cave and collected all the grown mushrooms. I usually gather them as a batch and then place them in the storage bin that I place in the cave. That way I can get a tally of how many mushrooms I have of each category, and it becomes easier for me to take 5 of each kind and place them in the dehydrator to make artisan goods. I should also look into using some of these mushrooms for recipes in my kitchen. Cooking is a whole area of this game that I haven't explored in a lot of depth because I'm usually wandering around to the mines and to the beach to fish during this winter season. Also, I've been steadily making copper bars and coal in my furnace and kiln, so it feels like a little factory of machines that are chugging along next to my home. Then I finally made it over to the ice festival and talked to everyone. It's really cool to see their winter clothing, and then the ice fishing contest started. I entered but only caught 1 fish. The winner was Willie, who caught 5 fish, so congrats to him for doing a great job. And then at the end of the evening, I went back to my farm and chopped down a few more trees before heading to bed for the night. This is my day 93 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, it was snowing, which was a beautiful sight to me. I also checked my mailbox, and Evelyn sent me an encouraging note with some cookies, so I'll store those cookies in my kitchen for now. I've been keeping an eye on my powdermelon crops that are growing, but I'm not sure how long it takes for them to be fully grown, and then I can harvest them. I also checked on my 4 chickens and gathered the available eggs to sell off in my shipping bin, and then I went over to the museum to donate some more items I got from the mines. A reward was given to me, which are starfruit seeds. I think this is the first time I'm seeing starfruit, and I don't know what is special about them, but I'll save them and plant them for the spring. Do starfruit have anything to do with the star drops that I saw being sold at the festival during the end of the fall season? I'll have to look into this further. Then I went over to Clint's shop and opened up some more mystery boxes and geodes, and I handed over my watering can for Clint to upgrade. I figured this one would be a good one to get done because I'm using sprinklers to water the powdermelon seeds back in my farm. Later on, I went over to the community center to add more stuff to the winter foraging bundle, and then I spent some time in the mines gathering more stone material and minerals. On the way back to my farm, I found a secret note that was written to Haley and Emily from their mom and dad. I think it's giving me clues on what are good gifts for both girls. So Haley likes pink cake and sunflowers, and Emily likes gemstones and wool. Finally, at the end of the evening, I crafted some more torches and started placing them around the dense areas of trees around my farm because I wanted to have more illumination around them when I chop down trees in the evening.
This is my day 94 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. Early in the morning, I went outside my house and ran into Marnie, and she requested a cave carrot. I realized that the only cave carrot that I previously had was already given to the community center to finish one of the bundles, so I'll have to look for another one, probably in the mines. Marnie is definitely a quirky neighbor, but I always enjoy chatting with her. Afterward, I checked on my dog Thanos and then went to my mushroom cave to get the latest batch ready for the dehydrator. I've also been consistently running my furnaces to make copper bars, and then I went into my coop to check out my 4 chickens. I've been making sure to pet each of the chickens once a day, but their heart levels are only at half a heart, so I'm wondering what other steps I should take to help increase the heart levels, because I've also been feeding them hay daily. Later, I used my hoe on a bunch of worms near my farm, and a secret note popped up. The note said that on the last day of the season, I should check the bush above the playground at 12 noon sharp. There was no context given for this note, so there are no hints on what to expect, but I'm wondering if this has to do with the shadowy creature that I met a few days ago. Then I went down to the beach and I caught some fish and a sea cucumber. I've also been making it a habit to carry some tree sap and wood in my backpack so I can craft torches and place them all around the map to light my path during the evenings. Then I stopped by the wizard's castle and chatted with him for a bit. He mentioned a bunch of lore that I didn't really understand, but at some point I guess I can build a friendship with him, and maybe more will be revealed. Finally, at the end of the night, I did some fishing in the forest lakes, and then I went back home to go to bed. This is my day 95 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. It was snowing today, and the first thing I did was to harvest the powder melons that I planted a couple days ago. This was a milestone for me, as these are my first official winter crops to be harvested. Then I went back into my coop and I pet my 4 chickens, collected eggs, and then placed hay on the long bench to feed them. Later, I found another secret note around my farm, and this one detailed Alex's strength training diet. I guess he likes salmon, so that is something I could give him as a gift. I'm really noticing that secret notes are popping up a lot during the winter season, as I don't remember finding them during any previous seasons. Afterward, I walked over to Clint's shop and commissioned him to upgrade my hoe to a copper hoe, so that'll take at least 3 days to be completed. And then I went down to the beach and I saw a large sign about the Squid Fest that will happen for 2 days starting tomorrow. So I'll make sure to come back down here to participate in the event. Later that night, I went back to my farm and I chopped down a lot of trees to clear out the surrounding area. And this is actually one of my favorite things to do during the evenings because I find it soothing to chop down trees and pick up all the wood material, sap, and acorns. I've also been making sure to replant trees so that they can start growing after the winter season finishes. At the end of the evening, I tidied up my inventory, tossed any extra items into my shipping bin, and then placed a torch near my mayonnaise machine before I went to bed. This is my day 96 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I checked my mailbox in the morning, I saw a letter from the wizard asking for Void Essence. I don't know what that is, but I guess it is something magical that I can find in the mines. I also learned that the wizard's name is M. Rasmodius, a very interesting name indeed. Then I went to replant a tree with an acorn, checked on my chickens in my coop, and then tossed an egg into the mayonnaise machine. I also checked my mushroom cave and gathered the ones that were ready to place in the dehydrator. Afterward, I went down to the beach and the Squid Fest was taking place. I tried fishing for squid a few times, but I didn't catch any squid. I just got regular fish. Maybe there's a special type of bait that I need to use to get squid, but I haven't figured it out yet. It's still very soothing to go fishing with the whole community, and when I was walking around the beach, I noticed a lot of characters that I had never seen before, but I wasn't able to interact with any of them in conversation. Later on, I went down into the mines to keep trying to get to deeper levels. Right now, I think the deepest level I've been to actually is around level 18. Previously, I thought I had made it past 20, but I misremembered. So now I'm trying to get to level 20, and I assume that the elevator will create an option to directly go to level 20 once I clear it. And finally, at the end of the evening, this notification menu came up saying that I am now level 3 for combat. This is my day 97 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I remember I had found a secret note from the previous day, and it was Sam's holiday shopping list, showing favorite gifts for Sebastian, Penny, Vincent, and I assume Sam's mom and dad. This gives me some clues on what to give them as individual gifts. Then I went over to my coop and checked on my 4 chickens, who are named Gamora, Nebula, Drax, and Groot. They all looked pretty happy, and I'm still trying to increase their individual heart levels. I guess it's a one day at a time kind of thing. Afterward, I went over to Clint's shop and he had opened some geodes for me. I got some Celestine, which I could sell off in my shipping bin, since several of my viewers have suggested that I sell off minerals from the mines to make some more cash. Later on, I went down to the beach, again to try to catch some squid at the Squid Fest, but once again, I didn't catch any squid and just caught regular fish. I went over to the saloon to buy a pizza as a backup energy snack before I went into the mines to get some work done. I feel like a lot of times I'm fighting off these flying insects, and that's really cutting into my time for mining rocks and minerals. At the end of the evening, I went back to the farm and I checked my preserve jars, which made some jam from the powder melons I tossed in there. And after I went to bed, this notification menu came up saying that I'm level 5 for fishing. I had a choice to choose between Fisher and Trapper, so I chose Fisher at the end before I went to bed.
This is my day 98 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I got up in the morning, I checked my mailbox and saw a letter letting me know that the annual night market was going to happen the next 2 days. I've never been to it, so I'm not sure what to expect there, but I'll make sure to check it out. After that, I went over to my chicken coop, and I remembered that one of my viewers suggested that I should move my mayonnaise machine indoors, so it's easy to toss the eggs into it. So I took a moment to dig up the machine and then placed it in a choice spot inside the coop for easy access. My 4 chickens are big now, and I'm making sure to pet them and feed them daily while gathering the eggs they're producing. Later, I went over to my mushroom cave, and I'm glad that this cave has been in steady production through the winter season. One thing that I've been wondering about is what to do with the red mushrooms that appear to be poisonous. I think I donated one to the community center for one of the bundles, but I discovered that I can't toss 5 mushrooms into the dehydrator. So I've been storing them up, and then I toss them into my selling bin at the end of the day. Afterward, I went over to the northwest corner of my farm, which has been overgrown with trees, and I'm trying to make some more progress with clearing out the trees before the new year starts. It's taking a lot of energy and time to do this, but I like seeing the space get cleared, and I'm also making sure to plant new acorns and seeds in the area for future trees. Then I went down to the beach and I started placing more torches around the area so that I can spend more time there fishing at night. I've heard that squid are available in the evenings, so I want to make sure I can see when I go down to this area. And at the end of the evening, I went back to the farm and I cleared out more trees before I went to bed. This is my day 99 vlog, playing Stardew Valley for the first time. First thing in the morning, I got up and went to pet my dog Thanos, who was lounging outside. I guess he doesn't mind the cold weather. I have a chicken coop, but I never see my chickens go outside during the winter. Afterward, I went into the coop and checked on the mayonnaise machine and also took care of my chickens. I'm thinking of making some more machines so that I can toss more eggs in there. Another thing I'm doing is fishing in the little pond near my farm. I noticed that I usually don't get fish, but I get trash, driftwood, and broken items like glasses and CDs. So it's become a habit of mine to toss those items into the recycling machine. Later I wandered through Pelican Town and then stopped by Linus's tent to give him a crocus, and he was pleased. And then I went over to Robin's shop because now I have enough money to commission her to start building a barn. I'm assuming a barn will allow me to get cows and other farm animals, and that's something I've been looking forward to. Then I went over to the museum and I donated a chicken statue that I found in a geode, and the reward that I got was another chicken statue. And when I went over to Clint's shop, I took a quick look at the menu and noticed that there's a copper trash can. I wonder if it's worth upgrading the can to copper, but I need to make some more copper bars to purchase that. Afterward, I made it to the night market for its first night, and I walked around and checked out all of the vendors in the stalls. It definitely had a festive flair to it. I didn't buy anything and decided to go into the mines to collect some more minerals and ore. I actually found a secret note that is from Abigail's diary, showing things to give her as gifts. It made me wonder what Abigail was doing in the mines if her diary was down there. Before the end of the night, I did check out the mermaid show, and that was a trippy experience to say the least. This is my day 100 vlog of playing Stardew Valley for the first time. When I woke up in the morning, I checked my mailbox and I found a letter from Pam with a gift of a beer. Pam really likes her beer, so it was cool that she wanted to share one with me. I decided to store the beer in a storage chest that I have inside my kitchen. Then I went over to the little pond by my farm, did a little fishing, caught some trash, and then tossed it into the recycling machine. I also went to check on my chickens in the coop, and now I have 2 mayonnaise machines, so it's starting to get busy inside there. Later, I went over to my mushroom cave and organized the different mushrooms I have in my storage bin in the cave. And then I went down to the other pond that is in the south area of my farm and caught a broken CD. I'm not sure if I've ever caught fish in this pond, so maybe it's like the small one that's close to my home, which usually has trash items in it. Afterward, I took a break and wandered around the forest for a bit before I went over to the night market for its second night. This time, I made sure to try the coffee from one of the vendors, and I noticed that it gives me a little speed boost. I also decided to try the submarine tour, and at first I didn't know what to do, but I quickly figured out that I could use my fiberglass fishing rod to catch stuff in the water. So I caught a midnight squid and some seaweed. And the hour was getting late, so I tried warping for the first time in order to get home and get into bed.